Welcome back, ladies, gentlemen, fellow mutants. We are here. Oh, almost all of us.
Well,
Three
we are.
brothers and a shot of milk. You got Jack, my man Jack, Milk, my man, well, me, Rich. Me. We're back at it again with another episode. We're going to get it live because we got two things to talk about. We got X-Men 97, and then we got Ghostbuster Frozen Empire. So it should be a good show. So get comfy, get your popcorn, get your coffee, get whatever it is that you use. No, let's not use whatever it is that you drink or consume. Get it and buckle up because it's gonna be a good show. Jack,
What's up, Rich?
Milk, what's going on with you, brother?
Yo,
How
man,
you?
it's always the better shows when it's just you and I flying solo.
I,
Don't tell the other two brothers I said that.
I'll keep my mouth shut.
Of course,
I,
I think
I,
Rich might be crashing later.
yeah.
Chris might be crashing later.
We'll see. He says we'll see. We'll see what's happening. He's being a good Samaritan and a good neighbor and helping one of his neighbors out. So we can't fault him too much.
Yeah,
At least he's not helping. At least he's not doing something with his family. Crazy.
which is tends to be the case.
Yeah.
All right, so wait, let me tell you what I watched this week.
What
So
you
I
watch? What's
watched.
going on?
I started watching Shogun,
Okay. I gotta get back
and
into that.
it's my content. I liked it. I liked it when it was called Marco Polo, maybe a little better.
Oh.
And
Okay.
I think you could just start with episode 2, though. You could probably skip the first episode.
All right.
I mean, you watched it.
I'm like halfway into episode 1. I kind of got off it because there's a lot of subtitle reading. I was doing other things and I haven't picked it back up yet.
So you could probably start with episode 2.
Okay.
It's pretty good content. I mean, the texture's great. The world's fun. I watched Roadhouse, the
Okay.
Jake Gyllenhaal remake,
Yeah.
which is on Amazon right now. No spoiler.
Mm,
Uh, it's not the Patrick Swayze version. It's definitely the Gyllenhaal version, and there's a charming naivety to him, like
okay.
an almost kid-like quality to Gyllenhaal.
All right. All right.
He's very charming in it. He's very charismatic. You can't help but care about him. He pretty much makes the whole movie watchable.
Mm,
Otherwise, it's kind of like, it not put anybody down, but it's a little paint by numbers. But he's so captivating. And what else did I do? That's about it. I haven't had a chance to play Final Fantasy VII. I'm hoping to get some of that in this week.
mm.
Although I was reminded that the story is not completed in this.
Again.
It's supposed to be 3 installments, and I guess I kind of remember them saying that when the first one dropped, that it was going to be 3 installments, but I kind of also forgot that they had said that, and then a friend of mine had beat it, and I go, "Oh, you beat it?" And he goes, "Well, I beat this arc of it, but it's not done yet." I'm like, "Wait, it's not?" And he goes, "No, remember, it's 3 installments." I was like, "God." So that took a little bit of the wind out of my sails.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm still looking forward to playing that. And that's pretty much been my week. A lot of work.
Yeah. I hear that. So
How
wait,
about you?
3 installments. So it's going to be. So you're going to have to pay for another one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man, they are really
Not
just
only pay for another one. All right, that's fine. Listen, if I could have had the whole story and just dropped 3 bills on it, I would have done it.
okay.
But the problem is, it was 2 years since the last one dropped.
True.
So
Yes.
the momentum of playing the first one has dissipated. And like, I love building up my character's stats, right?
Mm,
And so I'm starting over in this one, and I'm like, oh, man, I was maxed out on the last one, and this one only lets you max out to level 70. But I know when you get the third one, you can be starting over again. So it's not
oh.
like it's not like your stats carry over or something. It's not like you get to keep all the weapons you had, all the weapons set, and you're not building on that moving into the second one. You're kind of starting over from scratch again. So I assume the same is kind of going to be true. If you did play the first one, they give you a couple bonuses, like a summon, maybe some materia or something you can putting a weapon or something, but it's nothing like significant. It's not like home about it.
Tell you, gaming's not the same. It's not the same. A lot of small transactions, microtransactions, and then they're just splitting the content up, and you kind of lose momentum with everything when you
Well,
get
I
the
mean,
next one out.
I remember when the first one dropped, it was 2 disc.
Right.
Remember?
Yes.
And so the fact that they've really expanded the world, and they're like, "Hey, man, that Sega CD one was freaking 2 disc. What do you think this was going to be? Less?" You're like, "Okay, I guess that's fair." But Elden Rings is 1 disc, and that world is ridiculously huge.
Yeah.
So it's like Final Fantasy is clearly ridiculously huge.
All right. Well, glad you. Oh, well, you didn't get through the game, but hopefully you get to it and beat it. Maybe you want to take your time with it, savor it. I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
Anyway, my week has been just work. It's pretty much work. Got a new program at work that I gotta get on. They're launching it with us, so they're getting with our shop, and then once they work the bugs out, then it will be released to all the shops. But anyway, we don't care about that. I watch Arc, the animated series on Paramount Plus.
okay.
Uh, I mean, it's based on a survival game, which so they're trying to make a story out of it. From what I understand, I don't know. I never played Ark. All I know is that it's one of those survival games where they drop you in the middle of nowhere with nothing. You're butt naked, or you have like no clothes on. You just got underwears on, and you pretty much have to craft everything up, and you build a base and stuff like that. It's got dinosaurs and everything like that. I'm not sure if there was a storyline to it.
Oh yeah, I know the
Yeah,
game.
yeah. Ninja Kamu, right? I'm probably saying that wrong, but either way,
Right, the HBO one.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen yesterday's episode. It's out right now, but the last one's still a banger. Quiet on the Set, the Nickelodeon. It's on Max. The Nickelodeon story with Dan Schneider.
Oh,
Yeah, it's with all the Nickelodeon kids that were part of the '90s, early 2000s. Man, man, oh man, that was some wild times. And I sat back because I didn't look at most of the 2000 stuff. I didn't look at any of the 2000 stuff. So I kind of remember a little bit of the 90s, the late 90s, but the 2000 stuff was wild. Some of the stuff they was doing, I was like, wait a minute, why was that in a kid show?
mm.
Anyway, and Physical 100 season 2. I watched.
Physical 100.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I watched all 4 of them episodes. Yeah, it was the voice dubbing is it gets kind of crazy at times. It's they had this one guy, like, tall dude, jacked, and they give him the most like just effeminate male voice. So he just sounds wild. I'm just like, what is
How do you know that? How do you know his natural voice isn't ridiculously high? They're just
because you can
magic.
hear them talking. Like, you don't know
Oh,
what they're saying. But you can hear the tone of their voice.
yeah.
And then the dub comes in. I'm just like, oh man. And they had this one guy who's a boxer, and his voice sounds so sinister. Like he's like a mustache twirling villain. He was like, I look down on them because they're all beneath me. I'm just like, wait, what? He was like, he got into one of the matches when they got to hold the ball. He was like, I threw the ball away because I wanted to take my time with them. I'm like, wait. First of all, pause. Second of all, why? Why are we talking like this? But other than that, it's a good time because they're the last episode, it was a maze, and like they started playing dirt, like coming around the maze. They had to put like bags in kind of a scale type of thing. And at the end of it, they were like holding the other team back, like intentionally taking their bags away out of their
Yeah.
hands, like straight robbing them in the middle of the hallways. But yeah, it was a good time. I suggest anyone. Lawrence hit me up. He was looking at it. But yeah, Physical 100. It's a great time. It's a great time. But Jack.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, you know what time it is. You know exactly what time it is. As
All right,
soon
let
as
me
I
have it.
can, as soon as I can get this up, there it is.
Ah,
uh, oh, and I lost it. There it is. There it is. There it is. What do you get after combining a Transformer with Wonder Woman.
I feel like we've done this joke
I
before and it
think we
didn't
did
go over
too.
very well the first time, and we probably just skip it the second time.
No. It's Amazon Prime, okay? Yeah, you know what I did before? I took more mature jokes and then I turned them superhero eccentric. I think I'm on the wrong page right now. That's what's happening. We should never do this one again.
Probably
Because that
not.
because that Superman one was pretty good when he got drunk or drinking and they were jumping
Right.
off the building.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that
remember
was good.
hearing that joke in high school, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. Oh, who is MC Hammer's favorite? Well, I just messed it all up. Anyway, we'll
Hammer time.
we'll we'll go ahead and
Thank goodness.
skip all that, and we are going to go to no, not the news. We're going to go down the street, around the corner. We're going to cut a left at the bodega, and right at the smoke shop, and that will lead us to the collector's corner.
It's show and tell time.
Here in the collector's corner, we show anything that may be worth, I don't know, a few $100s to a few $1,000s to maybe a few $1,000,000 in Jack's case, or something that's sentimental, or maybe something you just bought, like in my case. Um, what do you got, Jack?
All right, cool. Since you asked. Now, I should have mentioned some of these during the weekly recap. So I'll show you a couple of the comic book pickups I got, and then I'll show you my show and tell this week.
Okay.
So I started reading this series. It's Avengers Twilight. Was
All right.
recommended to me from uh, Paxton at
Picture.
the Krusty Bunker, where my local comic shop is.
All right. All right.
So it's kind of like a Kingdom Come version of Marvel. And the first episode, anyways, really centers around Captain America. It's a little dystopian, but it's looking pretty good. Another one I picked up. I picked this one up because of the cover. You recognize who's right here?
Is that Shatner?
Yeah, it is. It's
Oh.
Shatner. He's not in the comic at all.
Oh, what? So why is he there?
It's just a great cover.
Okay.
It's just a great cover. And then I picked up this guy. It's Jorge Jimenez latest Superman drop.
Nice.
He just draws these characters so well. The
Yeah.
comic itself is a little mish, but I mean the way he captures Clark Kent.
Why is he bruised up? Is he bruised up, or is that what is that?
No, it's more like he's bashful. He's kind of
Okay.
like blush. It's
All
just
right.
great. Just
Oh,
good stuff.
yeah. That's
Just a
good.
great cover. So I picked that up to read, and then I got a couple early gifts. This one was again from my buddy at the Krusty Bunker. Gave me this one. It's the Ultimate X-Men.
Nice.
So Marvel is doing this whole Ultimate line this month, where they're dropping Ultimate X-Men, a new Ultimate Spider-Man, and a few other new Ultimates. So he gave me
Okay.
this. It's cool. Issue 1. I haven't checked it out yet.
All right. All right.
And my sister, Shannon, thank you very much, gave me an early birthday present.
Oh.
I mean, way
Hey.
early birthday present. It's Thor Jane Foster, signed by, you'll notice, Peach Momoko.
Nice.
And my sister done it right again with this
Hey.
COA saying this stuff is authentic.
Official.
So,
Thought that looked
sis,
familiar. That's art style.
yeah, she's great. This cover came out a little while back. I have a non-signed version of it in my collection already, so adding the signed version is sick. Someday when I save up some pennies, I hope to get these probably slabbed and graded. There's a big debate, man. Some people don't like the slabs. But I'll tell you, if you're trying to sell a comic, it definitely helps, unless it's a bad grade, in which case you probably want to pop it out of the slab and sell it without the grade, because then you can just let someone determine what they think it might be. But if it's perfect, that grade really helps you sell it.
All right. Dope.
How about you, man? What are you showing?
Oh yeah, what am I showing? Hold on, let's go ahead and look around here. We got plenty of things. Did I show you my
You gonna leave me on the big screen here?
Oh, sorry. Let me swap that over. I got a bag of ish, as I always do. At one point in time, I was going to do Attack on Titan, but I said no, no. Let's stop spending all money on crap. But I did find a couple of that was gonna display separately. But I got
Sick.
Ymir.
Yeah.
She was a pretty freaky looking Titan. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But yeah, him,
She's
her.
missing her teeth.
No, she got all her teeth, but she just
I
got
mean,
like
she's missing her lips.
yeah. She had like a weird like no lip thing going on there. She was all
Boy, she
teeth,
looks
all
freaky, man.
teeth, and something you don't want is all teeth.
Hey yo. Yeah.
Uh, he was, if I'm not mistaken, if I can remember correctly, he was the colossal titan. He was the first colossal titan in the show, right? Yes. He was the first colossal titan, and then what's his name ate him.
Oh,
Um, and then he became the colossal titan. But yeah, that was my colossal. I was looking at him because they have some new titan stuff coming out, and I was like, I should do it, and I was like, no, I don't have the money to do it. Like, stop it, Rich. Stop spending money. You can't. You got things, other things to take care of. But
are you still looking at trying to sell some of these things?
yeah, I'm looking. I'll probably try to sell some of these, like some of these Lucy's that don't have. Try to sell some of these Lucy's that really don't have like a full set of, which I have a lot of because I got some over here. Well, I think I'm gonna keep the Star Wars.
Sick.
Yeah, and I got to keep my Deadpool collection. You know, I mean it's not much, but all this whole row right here is all Deadpool. Some of them you can see, and then yeah, I'm gonna get rid of my Demon Slayer, my Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and some other things. I'm gonna try to keep as much as the
Shelf
my
a lot.
hero. Yeah, I'm gonna try to keep some of that. I know I got a lot of duplicates up there, so it won't be too bad of getting rid of them. But yeah, that was good stuff. Good stuff. Good picks. Thanks, Shannon. And let's go and get into the trailer park. I wish I had a sound effect for the trailer park.
It's time for some trailer trash.
Time for some trailer trash. A couple of trailers, well, like 3 trailers came out that we looked at. One Rebel Moon 2.
Yeah, okay. A lot of hallway scenes.
A lot of
A lot of
hallway scenes. A
hallway
lot of
fight scenes.
people running with their guns down while they're getting shot in their face. I don't know. I don't know. Like I don't know what Zack Snyder's thinking with this one. Like he's
Listen, if you like the first one, you're gonna like this one. It looks like there's just as many explosions as the first one.
a lot of
There's no
plot.
way there's no way you don't like this if you liked that,
Oh
right?
no, yeah. If you like the first one, yes, you should like the second one.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. So Rebel Moon, Netflix. I forgot. I think it comes out soon. I think it comes out next month. I'm going to see
Not
it
soon enough.
because I like to put myself through pain. I don't know. Star Wars Acolyte.
This looks good.
It looks like a Star Wars movie or a show. Excuse me. It looks all right. See what's
It's a
going on,
show. It
huh?
is a show. It
It's a
is a show,
Yeah, I believe it's a show. Yes.
and it's
Um,
a prequel series.
a prequel series. So it's set. It's set like somewhere in like the High Republic, like a little bit before or after the High Republic, somewhere in that range.
Zack Snyder, Michael baited. Yes.
What was
Well,
that?
I'm sorry. When is it set?
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty much. It's like set like I believe a High Republic or like just after the High Republic.
Right.
So it should be interesting to see.
Also, what's up, ETC? Thanks for joining the show again. Thanks for
Yes,
jumping in the chat.
thank you, sir. Also Alien Romulus.
Yeah. Now this looked. Uh, I think they used the same music when they dropped Prometheus. It sounds like the same kind of like hollowed out screaming sound effect,
Mm,
like almost alarm sound effect, scream sound as the Prometheus. Now the Prometheus trailer looked thrilling, and that movie was not thrilling.
no.
And this movie looks meh. It looks meh. It looks meh. Okay.
It looks like they're trying to go back to the roots of the old, little more horror-ish
It looks
suspense.
straight horror.
Yeah. So
But
it
look
looks
at the producers and the directors of this are pretty predominantly just straight horror films. So
yeah. So I'm an aliens guy. I'm an aliens predator guy. So I'm going to be watching it. It looks like it'll be a good time for me. I believe that one is that in theaters? I don't know. Either way,
theaters now.
wherever it's at, I'm going to watch it.
Oh. ETC says, let's be honest, when we hear the word Romulus, we think Star Trek.
Yes, that's
Correct.
true. Yes.
Correct. Yeah. And Star
Uh,
Trek's pretty great.
yeah. Okay, so now we're getting into the news. Let's just get straight into the news, just hit all that. I bet. So and feel free to throw some news in there. I got like 3 things that I'm gonna talk about. That piqued my interest. First one. Sydney Sweeney confirms Barbarella remake movie is still in development. Listen.
Barbarella? Like the half naked
Barbarella.
Amazon warrior
Barbarella.
lady?
You watch Barbarella.
Is that who it is, though? The comic book?
Yes, the comic book Barbarella. On the Happy Sad Confused podcast. That is an interesting name. All right. It is confirmed. She confirmed. So yeah, it's happening. It was announced in 2022. It's still happening. It's a sci-fi world. Like, have you seen the Barbarella, the original? No,
Don't think I have.
it came out in I want to say the 70s. Don't ask me how I watched it. It came on some movie channel. Probably Max, Cinemax. I'm sorry, not Cinemax. HBO. But yeah, this thing is it's mature. I definitely watched it when I shouldn't have been watching it because, you know.
Live action?
Yeah, it's live action. It was with what's her name? What's her name? What's her name?
What's her name? What's her name? What's her name?
For this cast. Why don't they make it easier to see things?
I think the only thing I know about this content is the costuming of it.
Jane Fonda. Yes, the costumes are very interesting.
Christopher St. Victor says Rich was watching Skinamax.
First of all, don't worry about what's going on in the basement at my house, okay? But he's right though. I definitely got caught a couple of times. But yeah, Jane Fonda. It was very sexually charged,
right?
Type of content, But 68. It came out in 68, 1968.
Wow.
Yeah. But so that's coming out, and Sydney Sweeney, like, why not?
Oh,
Okay.
and in other news,
Yes. Marvel Zombies to be TVMA animated series won't pull its punches. This is coming from Superhero Hype. So pretty much the upcoming.
they're making a zombie series.
They're making a zombie series. They're making an animated Marvel zombie series, and it's going to be What's that?
All the characters just turn into zombies.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, there was a comic about it, right? There was a comic with the zombies, right?
Yeah, but it's not like it wouldn't be a series. It'd be like a limited series, maybe.
Well, they're saying series. They're not saying whether it's limited or not. But yeah, it's coming. Pause. That's what she said.
Yo, I don't. Okay, cool. I guess cool. I mean, we had the zombie episode in What If, right?
Yeah. I mean, I guess they're just expanding on that. It's written and created by Zed Wells. It's going to be directed by Brian Andrews. I don't know who these people are, but
Well, it must be good.
Yeah. So,
Ooh, did you
oh,
hear that?
was that a plane? Are you in the
Wow,
flight path of?
we're about to get a lightning storm here.
Oh, that's thunder. Jeez.
Yeah,
I'm,
I guess let it rain.
all right. Make sure your roof good over there.
I've got bags above my windows. Actually, I've got a skylight that did start leaking right where I'm sitting.
Oh,
Uh, so I had to go up there and put tarps.
hopefully you don't get rained out.
Everyone in Southern California learned whether they got leaks in their roofs recently or not.
Oof. And talking a little bit of X-Men 99, the question is, and we'll probably talk about this later. We talked about it earlier when we saw the trailer. Could Gambit and Wolverine's maneuver actually work? You know, when Gambit somehow
Oh,
just charged up his claws.
yeah. Spoiler alert. Well,
Yeah.
I
Mm.
What up?
Yeah. Hey,
Hey,
there he
Chris in
is.
the house. So
Sorry,
wait, you got some
Background noise
interesting.
there.
Oh, hey, there he is.
I just gotta fix. I was rushing to get everything together. I had to fix all the settings. How's that now? Am I good now?
No, you sound terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Hold on.
All right, wait. So no real spoiler. Well, whatever. So you see it in the trailer. Actually, you see that moment in the trailer where
Right.
Gambit charges up his claws and Wolverine goes flying at a Sentinel and attacks him. So you go, and I'm sitting there going, how would that work? Because he also lights up his staff and that thing explodes. We know
Mhm.
that Gambit's power is touch anything, it explodes.
Right.
So wouldn't he just blow up Wolverine's hands?
That's
Or just blow like the flesh off of him. Period. Like.
Right.
don't you
Right.
understand? Through the transitive property of adamantium, it can hold a charge and transfer that charge to another object because
Well,
of the adamantium.
that must be accurate. Thank you. You have come right at the most pivotal moment, Chris.
Mm.
Absolutely,
Of this.
absolutely.
And that's the news. Now, unless you got something for me, that
Oh,
is the news.
no.
No.
Trying to think. Did anything else happen this week? I don't know. I think that's it. I got nothing.
You sound a little like you're in a tin can, but I guess we'll take it. It's nice to see your pretty
Oh,
face on the show.
well, thank you, thank you. I apologize for jumping in late. My neighbor, he blew up his transmission, and this guy always helps me in any chance he gets. So I had to go and give him a hand.
Okay.
ETC ask, what do you guys think of the new House of Dragons trailer? And have you watched it, in fact?
We have
Oh,
no. I
we
have
have not watched this trailer for season
Haven't
2.
haven't either.
Huh, didn't know that
I
came out.
haven't either. Can I be honest? A season one wasn't that exciting
It,
for me.
it really wasn't. Not for me either. Yeah. And
I,
it had dragons in it, man. I was like, what? It should be
I
good.
liked it. It had its moments. I liked it.
Mm.
It did have some moments.
It,
Yes,
yeah. Yeah. So, yeah.
a lot of time jumping.
A lot of time, nothing. A whole lot of talking
You know,
and
I don't know if
jumping.
you heard that. That's Lawrence's favorite part is when they jump just decades in eras. He thinks that's the best plot device you can use.
He loves it.
Like,
Yeah, really
watch
good
out
character.
for Bold and Beautiful. I think this week they're jumping 20 years ahead in the future. Spoiler alert.
Anyway, listen, Chris, stop smiling. I know you just got to the game. Chris, Jack, yo, get serious, cause we're in here for a debate.
Let's get ready to rumble!
It's a little quiet today.
Is it a little quiet?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. Anyway,
ETC wants a recap on what we thought of the Acolyte trailer. I thought it looked pretty good.
etc. Where's the first of all? Where's the debate?
I got you. I
Yeah,
got you.
do that. etc. It looks very
Star Wars.
DEI Star Wars. I had to look into the Acolyte and everything like that in the story because I know there was a comic for it and everything like that. I got a little in depth with it, Let's see what happens. It seems like they're going to try to make the Sith look like the underdogs, which is interesting. And
There
then
are.
also,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I come to find out that the creator or director is Harvey Weinstein's assistant or ex-assistant. Excuse me. So
Well, that just means they had to endure a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I don't know.
There are an awful lot of force catches in the trailer.
Yeah.
They're like a lot.
My question is, will people actually die from lightsaber hits
Depends on when they catch it.
when they
True.
catch it?
Ah.
See what he did there? Okay.
That's what we did there.
All right. So today's debate, which I thought of last minute, well, not really last minute. I thought of since we're watching X-Men, which got a revival.
Oh,
What
boy.
other? Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. What's that? Look. Calm down. Relax, Chris.
Ooh, I'm ready for that. All
We'll
right.
get into that. All right. I asked if you could bring back any cartoon from the '90s, what would it be, and how would you reintroduce it?
There's only one appropriate answer.
Yeah, there is.
Okay. Well,
I mean,
well, you know,
Chris, should we go on 3 and both say it?
Sure. Batman the... Oh, sorry.
It's series. Yeah. Well, it was the countdown. That's all right.
Sorry.
Yeah, but it's Batman the animated series.
Of course.
there were
Anything to
also
get
a
people
lot
on
of
their
people
knees.
on their knees. Yeah, you know, get people on their knees, all right. Anyway, yeah. So Batman the animated series. That's the.
Batman the animated series.
So y'all both going with that?
Absolutely. What
How
else you
could
know?
you not?
It's the greatest cartoon ever made. Like what?
Especially from the 90s.
Absolutely. It's what
There's a
it
lot of bangers from the 90s.
It spawned a full feature in full feature length movie that was actually in theaters. Mask of the Phantasm. It sculpted the Batman landscape as we know it now. Harley Quinn came from there. I mean, that whole it actually spawned a whole universe. What they coined the Diniverse. From there you got Superman, you got New Batman, you got Justice League, you got Justice League Unlimited. Even if you want to go, you got Static Shock, you got the Zeta Project. So you have a lot of properties that owe their success to Batman the Animated Series. So I don't know what else there is.
And it's just great content.
All right.
Amazing content.
So that's what you, Jack. Would you like to go and tell us why?
Well, he said most of what I was about to say. If I'm being honest,
Okay.
man. I mean, Batman the animated series. If I might have argued to bring X-Men back, but they just brought X-Men back, and
Yeah.
we've seen a lot of cartoons from the 90s being brought back. Actually, you say that something like Darkwing Duck would be awesome to bring back, but Darkwing Duck is literally just Batman, so let's just go to the source.
Right.
Batman the Animated Series is great, and what you could do is bring it back. You could make the crime a little harsher, maybe. Still keep with the animated noir vibe, but let it be these crime mysteries you gotta be solving.
So we were supposed to get that in that shelved Batman project that's still trying to find a home. But now that I think they see, I mean, the reviews for X-Men, not jumping ahead, the reviews for X-Men have been phenomenal, right? People go crazy across the internet with that. I don't see why Warner Brothers or DC doesn't see this, say, hey, we have this property with a very, very similar cult following.
Yeah.
Why not scrap the Cape Crusader project and just pick up Batman again?
I'd say what would be tough about it is with Conroy not in the picture anymore, and knowing Mark Hamill was definitely not stepping back into it. Those are two major figureheads of the series that would kind of make it hard to pick it back up, when considering nostalgia plays a big factor in someone like us going back to that plate. Although we want the content anyways, we'd probably check it out.
Yeah.
I mean, who's the guy doing Batman now? That's what's his name? Hold on, I'll tell you right now. He's the recent Batman, and he's done a pretty good job. And I wouldn't want someone to come in and do a Kevin Conroy impression. we accept the fact that we lost a legend. So let the guy, I think it's Jason. Hold on, I'll find it out. But let the guy who's doing Batman now in the current universe. I think he does a great job. He doesn't try and. It's not a ripoff of Conroy's Batman. He does his own thing, but he does it in a pretty convincing way. Let him do his Batman in that vein.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
go from there.
whoever's doing it, whoever picks up any mantle has to do it in a way that isn't a parody of the thing that preceded them. You know, you always have to take ownership and find your truth to it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it starts feeling really.
Diedrich Bader?
No, Dietrich Bader. He does the Brave and the Bold Batman. He has a very, very like gravelly. He does a good like cartoony Batman. But if you pull the Batman from the Infinite Crisis, did he often do the animated series? He may have actually. I know the animated series was very orchestrated, so it was straight. Like if you listen to some of the like behind the scenes of the DVDs, they talk about the music and working with like an orchestra to actually do this like grandiose score. So I wouldn't be surprised. I know Danny Elfman did the '89 theme song. It wasn't Hans Zimmer. I think it was Danny Elfman.
Oh, Zimmer wasn't really as
Zimmer
established at that point.
Yeah,
It was Williams and Elfman were doing everything.
Yeah, that's right. John Williams, right? Yeah, he did all a bunch of the major things. So.
Very knowledgeable on your Batman. That's very impressive. Very impressive.
Wow.
Well,
Chris is the Batman guy. He should be.
I'm gonna. Well, you knew about the composer, so I mean, how you doing things? Well, I'm gonna rock the boat.
Oh, here we go.
Let me just do this real quick. I'm gonna rock the boat.
All right.
He's bringing Thundercats back for a third time.
I don't want Thundercats. Even though they do need it, they need to finish up the second release of Thundercats. I don't know. They left it on.
To be fair, though, you said 90s, not 80s.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, Mutant League. You know what Mutant League is. Don't you act like you don't know what Mutant League is. Mutant League football, Mutant League hockey. It was a game series, but from Electronic Arts.
This
is what you'd bring back?
I would bring it back.
Oh, Mutant League football,
hockey. Pretty much they were on a stadium. The earth opened up. There was toxic chemicals in there. People in the stadium, the players, and the observers, the spectators, they all became mutants, and they created a whole league out of this. They would lose limbs. They would get eviscerated. They would go into a healing vat and heal up. And now you can throw in soccer. You could throw in some rugby. Yeah, Mutant League. I would totally watch Mutant League because I enjoyed watching it.
So I see the video game. I didn't know it was a cartoon also.
Yeah.
So they have a new game that you can buy on Xbox One that's actually came out recently that's supposed to be pretty good, but
hang on. You're telling me of all the cartoons that came out in the 90s, you're taking not Batman the Animated Series.
Correct.
You're not bringing back like Chip and Dale, or you're not bringing back
Gargoyles.
I'm not bringing back Gargoyles.
Gargoyles.
Leave Gargoyles the way it left and leave it there. I don't want Gargoyles.
SWAT Cats.
You're not bringing back.
I don't want SWAT Cats. I never watched SWAT Cats. I wasn't into SWAT Cats.
Mighty Ducks, the animated series, etc. JWP in the house also. You're not bringing back. You're not bringing back what? Tailspin. You're not bringing back DuckTales. You're bringing back.
They bring back DuckTales. It ran for 2 seasons. It just got canceled.
I said what I said. Mutant League. Okay.
Captain Planet.
Captain Planet. I don't want Captain Planet. I want Mutant Leagues. I want sports. I want violence, gratuitous violence. And
Could you imagine Captain Planet today in today's climate?
Oh, it would be a hyper liberal show. It would be unwatchable.
Can you guys hear this? I'm in a monsoon right now. This is insane.
Aren't you in California, Jack?
No, I'm in the tropics. It rains all the time here now.
Well, maybe you do need Captain Planet. That's all right. Megabytes from Mars. Yo, ETC, did we just talk about that? No, we talking about Bucky O'Hare and some other one. But yeah, Spiker Rice from Mars was a cool one.
Listen,
That was cool.
listen.
Well, I think it's a tie. I think
Yeah.
this week's a tie. Chris and Jack won.
Because y'all a bunch of haters. That's why. All right.
All right, let me ask you a quick question. I know we got a lot of content. Real quick, Jack, fire it off. Batman the Animated Series off the table. What are you bringing back?
What?
Batman the Animated Series is off the table. What are you bringing back?
Oh, if Batman the Animated Series is off the table,
Yep.
probably Darkwing Duck. Because Darkwing Duck answers the need of Batman on certain levels, and it's really catered for a kid demographic market, which helps it sell the content it wants to be. Also, if Darkwing Duck comes back, you're getting spin-off video games, you're getting some cool merch off of that series run. I mean, we saw what Lawrence did a review of the Darkwing Duck toys he got. Maybe we get ones that actually hold together instead. Right.
Okay.
And we're already gotten, the other thing that's happening in all the comic book shops is we're getting, ETC, we're getting all these great 90s IP in comic book form. So Darkwing Duck already hit, Gargoyles hit recently. We're getting all this content's coming back in comic books right now. Even Thundercats. There's a new Thundercats comic book.
Oh, yep.
Oh. Okay.
How about you? Batman's off the table. What do you bring back?
Is all Batman properties off the table? Can I bring back Batman Beyond?
All Batman property off the table. And don't say Mutant League.
I'd probably bring back.
Would be great. Be hitting.
I don't know, man. I used to really dig SWAT Cats. I like SWAT Cats a lot. I really did. I mean, what my non-favorite comic book cartoons they brought back. They rebooted Rugrats already, and not just like all grown up. I'm talking the full-blown actual Rugrats. They rebooted it.
The problem with bringing some of that stuff back is like bringing Animaniacs back, right? When Animaniacs first came out, they did not have a certain level of oversight telling them what they couldn't have in the content. So when that series progressed on, they got a lot more censorship into the content. And so I feel like that's what would happen with certain things that
GhostBusters, the knockoff Transformers. Yeah.
GhostBusters was an 80s property. We're talking 90s properties here.
Hey, yo, Chris got content on. And I feel like you're going to get a lot of that, especially in today's market, depending on where it's dropping.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I mean, at least I love Real Monsters.
Real Monsters. I did think about bringing back Gargoyles, but the way it ended, it was kind of. I wouldn't start off because I think at the end of Gargoyles, they all died. Or at least
spoiler alert.
Yeah. I mean, listen, if you haven't watched it by now, what do you want me to say? I think at least it was implied that they all died. And then whatchamacallit, the cop, Elisa.
Anyway. What's her last name? Mendoza. What's her last name?
I think last name was Mendoza. But she was framed for it, and that's where they left at. Elisa, I'm looking at it right now. Elisa Maza. Excuse me.
That'd be a great place to pick it back up. She's running through the streets, being chased, and
but they're all dead. Well, allegedly they're all dead. I mean, I guess you can do like maybe a couple of them survive, or maybe it was like they all found a way to survive somehow. But they were caught up in the explosion. I don't know.
Imagine. You can figure it out. You can write your way out of it. You get a good writer. You can figure it out.
Nah, I'll probably, if I were to bring it back, I'll probably just reboot it and then set it more in this day and age, like a 2024.
Okay.
And let the chaos ensue. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. Yeah. So Batman animated series. Screw y'all. So yeah, let's move on to the main event.
Ooh.
The first part of our main event. Excuse me. And do we have an
X-Men
graphic for that? X-Men. Yes, we're gonna do. Okay. the next part of our main event is X-Men 97. We are doing the first 2 episodes. And gentlemen, I got a bubble. Don't worry about it. As long as you can still hear me, we can still keep going. Gentlemen, spoiler free. How did you enjoy it?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, so Chris sends out a text after he watches it saying,
He had bubble guts. I mean, he had bubbles.
he literally, I have goosebumps, is what he said.
Yes.
And so I already knew I was excited walking into it. Rich will be back when he's back.
No,
Yeah.
But man, honestly, yeah, me too. It was great. The second the music drops, I'm there. I'm like transported. So anyone our age watching this content that enjoyed it, nostalgia obviously plays a huge part in how you're interacting with it. Second the music dropped, I'm right there. I thought it was great. Spoiler free. I thought it was pretty great.
Okay.
What do you think?
I mean, it hit a little bit, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I kept my guard up because of where we're at with everything. And then hearing the news where they fired that one guy because of his OF content and so on and so, I was like, let me just watch and see what happens in this whole thing, and I'll make my decision after that. But overall, I enjoyed it.
Look, once the opening hit, and look, they made changes for Bishop got his own title card, but it was shot for shot but updated with the new models. And come on, man, look. Anyone who's looking at this is like, hey, I want to take a property and extend. It's not even a reboot. What would you call this? A continuation?
Oh, continuation.
It is
They're
continuation.
just continuing.
If you want to take content and be like, hey, I want to pick up content from where it stopped 30 years ago, this is the blueprint. This is it. This is it. This is what you do. And I don't know, man. This is.
So, some of the voice actors are even the same.
Oh, are they?
Billboard, etc. They used to reuse. They used to pass monsters back and forth between that and Power Rangers.
I believe that. Yeah. Voice act. You said the voice actors are still the same, or
I think
those
some
folks
of
came
the
out?
voice actors are still the same. Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, actually, let me show you. Let me show you this picture. They had a picture of Storm recording, and it was the lady recording.
And Storm, man, talk about a great character arc.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oof. In 2 episodes, you're like, where is this going? The other thing that's so good about this series is they really are pulling all their inspiration straight from the comics.
Yeah.
Corey Pearson in the house. What up, brother?
What up? What
He
up?
says fan service, and it is, but it's not just fan service. It's true fan service, and it's great fan service. It's all the things good about fan service, though.
Okay. I'll give that to you in episode 1. Episode 1 was just like letting us know, don't worry, we have all your favorite characters.
No spoiler. Let's
Yeah,
Rich, spoiler free.
Yeah. We can go spoil. Well, we just did spoiler free. We got all of our opinions on it, right?
Okay, all right.
You know what? Let's do. So episode 2. Let's get spoiler free episode 2, and then after that, we're gonna go free for all. We're gonna go episode 1 to episode 2, and then
All right, back and
all
forth.
out. Yeah.
Okay.
Same. I thought episode 2 was even better than episode 1.
Episode 2 kind of let us know where our arc is going to go. Mm-hmm. I feel like episode 1 was just kind of reintroducing us to the characters, but episode 2 is letting us know the tone and the direction of the series. And take me there, X-Men. Take me there, X-Men 97.
Take me there. Hey, yo. All right. Yeah, episode 2. I once again still have my guard up a bit, but I still enjoyed it, and I'll just leave it at that.
All right, let's spoil this.
Yeah, let your guard down, Rich. This is ready to go.
Can't. I've been hurt too many times. 2023 has scarred me. Okay.
Corey says the wife and kids are hooked, and they watched the first 2 episodes. They're rewatching the whole series because they can't just wait for an episode to drop. They had to go back.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I did some of that too.
Yeah, that's right.
ETC's keeping his guard up. Also, come on.
ETC,
we'll see where it goes.
don't know
All
who
right,
hurt you.
cool. I mean, listen, we'll see where it goes. But after 2
Disney.
episodes,
Disney hurt us. That's who hurt us. All right.
all right,
So
let's talk about this.
let's go. Let's
Wait,
go,
let's talk about how sick the combat is in
Oh
the.
my
bro.
goodness.
First
Oh
of
my
all,
god!
Cyclops is just making up physics as he goes along,
Cyclops is
and I'm
such a
for it.
badass.
I
Look
am
at the
for
way
it.
he's like optic blasting his way around the room.
He's like Marvel vs. Capcom in this game.
Yeah.
He just
God.
bounces.
Wait. When Cyclops jump out when the whole plane explodes and Cyclops is like free falling and everyone else is getting caught and Cyclops is like, "Good work, team. I'll meet you on the ground." You're like, "Wait, Cyclops don't fly. What's he gonna do?"
Yeah,
And he
Cyclops can't
turns,
fly.
dude. He optic blasts himself to a smooth landing.
But look, Sebastian saw it and he's like, "That is the greatest superhero landing I've ever seen."
Ever. Because
Ever.
it was also very anime nostalgic, man. The way that blast. ETC again siding with Rich. Amen. Rich. Disney did hurt us. Okay, hurt you or not, the first 2 episodes of this are just great. The combat is sick, and then when Magneto makes his appearance, and the way he interacts with the people making the judgment, don't let me let you down, right? Don't make me let you down.
Yeah.
Oh my
Literally
goodness.
got him in space. Yeah, that's Corey brings up a good point. He says neck injuries come on. So I guess, Cyclops has really been working his traps and his neck muscles.
He's been working. He's been working them neck muscles out.
Here's what I want to ask: what made him think he could do that? Because
Practice.
The danger.
Go to school to practice, man. They all go to school to practice their powers.
That's a mistake you can only make once.
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey, man, etc.
Is he?
He did those things allegedly.
Sprinkle the allegedly in there.
Oh my goodness!
Mind you, okay.
We're derailed by the awesomeness of the optic blast.
We are,
and just Cyclops in general, man. Like, so heroic, such a great leader, and he gets a lot of flack in the live action movies for being lame, but he is not a lame character. My God, Cyclops is a beast.
Well, the problem was in the animated series, Wolverine kept punking him.
He did, but even in the original animated series, you go back and watch that, Cyclops is a great leader, and there's no confusion as to who the leader of the X-Men is.
That's true.
And this version of Cyclops seems very capable. Storm, my God, man, her power set when Cyclops goes, "Let's get the weather report."
He had another line too. That what did he say? He said, "Bring the."
He said, "Bring the rain or bring What he?
All I know is he had a cool action movie one liner.
Well, the other thing that was crazy is like there was, without telling you there was a plan, you see it played out where he's staggering the team, right? So he's got Storm waiting in the background to come bring the thunder and really hit this one home. And when she walks in, I mean, we see the team just light him up. And Rogue is sick, man. The way she kind of like wrestle moves the damn Sentinel, you're sitting going, "Yo, she's a badass," right? And then when Cyclops calls in Storm, and Storm has her move set, you're like, "Oh my God, she's a god." And also, what's cool is you see how all the Sentinels regard her. They say Omega level,
right? Omega level threat.
Like,
yes.
Yo, Storm is something else. And spoiler alert: what we see happen in episode 2, Storm gets shot by this radiation bullet, which robs her of her power, and she's instantly just a person. A shot that was meant for Magneto, and she gets in the middle of. You're like, wow, what a tremendous loss. You just feel it on such a visceral level after seeing who she is in just 2 episodes' time.
Yes. So we start out with, first of all, we got Bishop back, redesigned, right?
Yep.
And he seems to be now a permanent fixture. of the X-Men. Because
At
before
least for now.
at least for now. But
We see Beast jumping ahead a little bit. We see Beast working on Bishop's his wristband thing.
right.
He's
He's
stuck.
trying to figure it out. So
Right.
so we assume that he's stuck or he just chooses to be there.
Yeah. First of all, the way Bishop fights is also dope. Like he just goes switching from the gun to absorbing blast to using the blast, redirecting the blast and everything like that.
Right,
Like,
which didn't really make sense in the first fight, though, because Bishop shows up and Storm shows up, and they're taking out some pretty low-level henchmen, and something blows up right next to him, and it knocks them both out. And you're like, wait, isn't Bishop supposed to absorb that blast? All right. All right, but
the concussion, I don't know.
Guess so.
He fell for reasons.
And let's talk about another dope character, Morph.
Yes. So Morph, before we just got Morph. So Morph was actually introduced in the original X-Men series. He's kind of like the Harley Quinn of X-Men.
Right.
So in the original story arc, Morph is actually, we lose Morph in the first episode, the first story arc of the original X-Men series. And he comes back later as a kind of a victim of Sinister. But in this, Morph's power set makes so much more sense to why he's on the X-Men. He's not just immediately done wrong.
Who,
Corey?
Maybe Bishop?
I don't know. All right, Well, we do see Cable, etc. We do see Cable in the poster for X-Men 97, so we know we're going to get him.
And I think Nightcrawler also, because I think there were toys of Nightcrawler.
Yeah, there are toys, yeah.
But also, talking about Morph, we see Morph not only turns into them physically, he actually gets their powers when he's them.
Right.
We see him as
Blob.
We see him as Blob, but we also see him as Colossus and just taking blast. We see him as Psylocke doing all kinds of martial arts stuff. We see him as not Angel but Archangel.
Right.
So we're like, Morph is sick in this. He's sick.
I'm wondering if they have to limit his power, right? Because if they have to limit the time that he's that person, because if not, why doesn't he just become Apocalypse and be Apocalypse the entire time, or someone like that?
Maybe he can. Who knows?
Mr. Sinister or something like that.
I mean, listen. The second we saw him turn into Colossus and just take blast in a way that Colossus is impervious, we're like, whoa, Morph is not just a shapeshifter. He's a power shifter.
Yeah, Morph reminds me a lot of the Chameleon from Spider-Man the animated series. Yeah.
Corey says Storm done wrong. Storm done wrong? I thought Storm was done so right.
Explain yourself, Corey, because I think
you gotta explain yourself because the way Storm comes out, she's powerful, she's regal, she is a goddess, but she's also human. Her power set is off the charts. They even say it. The Sentinels register Omega level threat, and the fact that that bullet hits her, robbing this majestical person of her powers, and we know eventually she's gonna get them back, but she's about to go on this real human arc, and I think Storm done right.
Yeah, I mean, they foreshadow it when she has a moment with Jean. You ever wonder what it'd be like to be human? Blah blah blah. Right. But yeah, no, this story arc is going to be. I think it gives. X-Men was always very dramatic, right, and very very moving. But I think this gives us a. It legitimizes the emotions that X-Men always tries to bring out. Versus just
look at. And look at the Rogue content with Magneto, man. This is straight out of the comics, and you're like, this is adult themed subject matter right here, and certainly Gambit gonna have something to say about it.
I didn't know anything about that because I don't read the comics. So when I saw the Rogue thing, I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Right. Well, Rogue has a child with Magneto in the comics.
Who's the child?
Doesn't Rogue have a child with Magneto in the comics?
I know Mystique had a child. Or she had.
Well, Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch aren't they Magneto's kids?
Yes, that's true.
All right, hang on. Am I mistaken? I thought there was a comic line where Rogue and Magneto was certainly they're intimately involved for a while. in the
Yeah,
comic.
Rogan. I mean, there is one where Rogan and Gambit are married.
How's that work out?
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Quicksilver,
Yeah, Ray LeBeau. No, it's Gambit. Wait, hold on.
This dude got 15 kids. Magneto was out here just repopulating.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Who are the children of Magneto and Rogue? No, they do have a kid, Charles. Charles is the son of Magneto and Rogue.
Okay.
So they do have a kid in one of the. Now that might be, like a kind of alternate version of the main arc storyline, but it's cool. And you also see her costume shifts colors, right? She's in the classic kind of 90s X-Men look, and then they shift her to the more green look color palette around the time they're playing the basketball game, which is indicative of her time with Magneto. So I wonder if they're doing a costume swap on her, and we saw they did a costume swap on Magneto
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's directly from the comics too.
directly
Huh?
from the comic, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So if one thing seems to be true about this content, it seems like they're really paying homage to the source material, and they're really paying homage to the comic book inspiration source material moving forward also. And like how many times we've seen the basketball game that they play and they always go, or the football game in the front yard, and they're like no powers, and then 3 seconds later they're all using powers. So
Yeah.
we know that this content is going to be the content we want to see moving forward. So hopefully they just maintain the course. And all right, so jumping to the last moment of episode 2, Jean shows up, but Jean's
Well,
standing
Madeline,
there.
that's Madeline Pryor. I think Madeline Pryor is there. This is directly related. This storyline is directly related to Mr. Sinister. So, spoiler alert: the lady that does show up, that's actually Jean Grey, and Madeline Pryor is I forgot what she was, but
a clone. I would assume.
something like that. And then it goes back directly, and it directly ties them back to Mr. Sinister.
So
against
Cyclops
Mr.
is
Sinister.
not with the actual Jean.
Nope.
Oh,
Nope.
You got some explaining to do.
Yeah, so explaining to do.
Yo, so this content's gonna be sick. Come on now.
That's going to be tricky.
I guess the only question worth asking is, are you coming back?
I'm not coming back. Is the sky blue? If you cut me, do I not bleed? Of course, I'm coming back for this.
Some people will say the sky is not blue. Okay.
Some people have been robbed of happiness by Disney.
or their happiness have been taken from them.
Rich, are you coming back?
I'm coming back. I'm going to come back, but I'm still going to have my guard up.
The only thing making this hard for me to come back is knowing that I gotta wait another week to consume the next chunk.
Yeah, that's a good point, Jack. So I do the same thing. Sometimes there's something I really, really, really enjoy. I'll force myself not to watch it and kind of let it pile up so I can binge it. But then you gotta worry about the internet.
Yeah.
Then something awesome is happening, and then everyone talks about it. Like when this dropped,
oh yeah.
I don't know about your guys' feeds, but it's like the whole world was talking about X-Men 97.
Yeah.
And it's good content.
It is amazing content.
Yeah. It is the kind of content I would consider holding off on, because to have momentum going when it's clear you're going to have a good story, to have momentum getting into the story is nice. The breaks are sometimes rough, and I think he will.
I think so too. Yeah, Exodus Apocalypse needs to make a return. I think he will too. I definitely think he will.
I mean, then you think he'll come back in this? Like
series?
how many episodes? How many episodes is it going to be?
We don't know.
Whatever it is, it's not enough.
Yeah.
But the thing that's nice about less episodes nowadays is there's less filler, so you tend to get just better content.
All right, so we're all coming back. We pretty much ran through that quick. We were just really talking about all the hype parts about it.
10 episodes, Rich.
10 episodes? Okay. Well, yeah. They could probably hit some stuff. I mean, yeah, I would say if this was me, I would do the Mister Sinister and then the Apocalypse after that, like season 2, maybe try to work that in there.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
we know there's going to be the classic. We already have so much of the allegories playing out. The what it is to be different, what it is to be persecuted, what it is to feel like an exile in a community, and they really play that element up. What it is to be mutant
Yeah,
in this population. So we know that in itself is going to be X-Men babies
10
10
seasons,
seasons, two
one
spin-offs.
spin-off, one prequel, and he's looking for X-Men Babies will be a huge hit. Just like Muppet Babies, Corey, I'm assuming.
X-Men babies.
X
Yeah.
Men.
Next
All
season, they're
right.
probably going to go back to the Phoenix arc. Etc. Actually, you know what? Etc. I hope not. We've seen the Phoenix arc in the original X-Men series. We've seen it on the big screen. I want them to explore a lot of these other story arcs that we haven't seen yet.
Who'd
So
be a cool arc to get is the Onslaught arc.
Ooh.
Onslaught would be dope. He was kind of like Doomsday, but for X-Men.
Magneto. Well,
Yeah.
he was a Magneto Xavier hybrid thing.
They were merged, right? Something like that, and he was like unstoppable.
Oh
I
wait, but
remember.
how would they do that if Xavier is
Well,
dead?
my question is, do we really think that Xavier is even gone?
Oh.
Come on.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I mean, the guy had the greatest psychic mind on the planet. You don't think he put his consciousness somewhere else before he passed?
Or in someone else? I mean,
That's
maybe.
what I'm getting at. He could have nestled himself in there. No, I don't think we've seen the last of Charles Xavier.
Yeah, but there's so many places to go. I mean, they could do Civil War. They could
Oh my!
do.
Well, can they do civil? They can't do Civil War without the rest of the characters. But I'll say that if they're going to bring in Captain America, Spider Man, all those guys, then maybe, yeah, that'd be insane.
Yeah,
But if they do Civil War without the other characters, it's kind of like watching the live action Civil War, and you're like, what's the point? Although in this case, they probably would.
He put his mind in the Rock, maybe the Rock. He just comes out. Do you smell? No. Okay.
but we could do. There's House of M. Then you could get to Avengers versus X-Men. If remember, I don't know the
Well,
series.
House of M is interesting too, though, because you have Scarlet
Yeah,
Witch,
Scarlet
who's
Witch.
not been introduced into this content, and is technically his kid. So how does that even work out?
I don't know. They'll figure it out.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of ways to go, and even if you're diving into the early Claremont or the '90s Claremont stuff, you're looking at just so much good content.
Or the Deadly Attractions. If you make Magneto bad again, we could have pull. They could have him pull Wolverine's adamantium and do that whole story arc, and you get to Savage Wolverine and all this. There's so much. X-Men stories are super complicated. I don't read much of it because it's hard to jump in if you're not an avid reader.
Mhm.
But there's a lot of story arcs that they can get into, and I'm excited to see story arcs other than Days of Future Past, other than Dark Phoenix, other than like the basic X-Men origin. I'm excited to see other stuff.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, and exactly what you're saying. There's so many good arcs to pull from with the X-Men content. And the other thing that's really great about Marvel characters and X-Men specifically, there's a lot of gray in the characters. Like, yes, Magneto is a terrible person, literally a terrible person, just murdering people. But he's also, as you see in this content, he's conflicted and struggling and wants to be good. And then, but he is who he is. And Magneto's the greatest of all villains.
I think that's all the show. I think he's just pointing on the front. He got control of the X-Men.
I think he's genuinely he's trying. He's genuinely conflicted, but you look at push comes to shove, he is who he is.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah,
he'll try it in honor of his buddy.
Yeah. Well, they're going to keep this. We'll bring back the animated series, Spider-Man, Iron Man, Incredible Hulk. This was Ultimate Steam Universe. Not really. If you go back to Iron Man and Fantastic Four, that was like though that you have that one series drop, and each of them had one season in the '90s. Spider-Man, yeah, I guess realistically, technically, I guess you could.
Wait, but you know what's so different right now?
What?
And this is true. When X-Men came out, it was Fox.
Right.
X-Men played on Fox, and Marvel didn't own it. They had they had sold that content out to keep their company afloat.
Yep.
Okay, now Disney owns it, and Disney also owns Fantastic Four.
Yep.
And Disney also owns all of the Avenger characters.
Right.
So Disney actually owns all these characters that Fox did not own at the time. So you could get some pretty great cameos in this. There's no reason, with the exception of maybe Spider-Man, that you can't have the rest of the characters.
I mean, we had a ton of cameos in the original series. We had Ghost Rider, we had Deadpool, we had a ton of people in the original series. So, you know what? What I would like to see them do is not try and somehow connect this to anything else that's going on. Keep X-Men contained as they go, and then introduce whoever you want, however you want. So if you want to introduce Fantastic Four, great. Ghost Rider, great. Deadpool, great. Spider-Man, maybe, because I know we know there's issues, but whoever else you want to introduce, and you could do A versus X, and who cares? It doesn't affect what's going on. With the mess that the MCU is now, should have no effect on where X-Men 97 is.
I think that's right. And if you're doing that, then 3 seasons from now, you can actually earn the Civil War arc.
Exactly.
Right? Don't do it now. You haven't earned it yet. That'd be like trying to do Doomsday before Superman's even got a sequel. You jerks.
Well,
earn it.
You know what's funny? In that, I talk about this a lot because I really thought the series was fantastic. But when they had Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes, and they knew the show was getting retooled to mimic the MCU, they packed in like the Red Hulk story arc. They packed in Secret Invasion. They packed in Civil War, all in like the last 10 episodes of the last season. So it can be done. You can do it. You just gotta.
Well, the only one that haven't watched it. Okay, I feel like I need to watch it now.
It's 2 seasons and it's fantastic, and then they cut it to get retooled to closer mimic the MCU, and they just whatever magic they had there, it was lost.
ETC says they could do the Infinity Gauntlet, but again, I'd go kind of like the Civil War. You need the whole universe involved in that one to do it right. And the Infinity Gauntlet series is actually way less X-Men based than it was Avenger based in the comics.
They could do Krakatoa. They could do all sorts of stuff. There's all these great X-Men stories.
All right, let's rein this in. So we're all coming back for X-Men. We all enjoyed it to some degree. Chris more than others. He had the lotion out. But let's get back on track. We're done with X-Men. Good stuff. Let's get in there with Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire. And look at that. Let's talk about that. Yeah,
go ahead.
So we start off in, what was it, 1904? Right?
Yeah.
You want to do real quick?
What'd you say?
Spoiler free? Are we jumping in?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. Spoiler free. I got ahead of myself. Gentlemen, how'd you like it?
Okay, since I'm wiping my face here and no one's talking, I'll go first. I gotta say, one, I enjoy the content. It's as good as any of the other Ghostbuster films. I know it's getting a lot of hate from the critics and a lot of mixed love from the fans. It's maybe a little anticlimactic for me when all was said and done.
Okay.
But it's a Ghostbuster movie, and you can't shake a stick at that.
I loved it. I thought it felt more Ghostbustery than Afterlife. It felt like an episode of the real Ghostbusters.
It did feel like an episode.
Yeah.
It felt like an episode of Ghostbusters.
I don't say that in a negative connotation. I felt like it got back to kind of the lore of the Ghostbustery roots, whereas Afterlife was kind of like, and I loved Afterlife, but I felt Afterlife was more of a joining of the the past and the present. This is just a straight up Ghostbuster story.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. No,
And you
Corey.
guys skip Ghostbusters.
No,
No, but you could mute it.
Yeah,
You can definitely mute the content.
just make up words as we go along.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Ghostbuster movie. It had its moments, and then the rest was just man for me. I had questions. I mean, listen, I had questions. I'm like, how, like I said, it was just man for me.
Let's spoil it so we
it
get to
didn't
that.
hit it.
Let's break that mad down a little bit.
Let's
Yeah.
break that. I doubt you're going to do it. So we start off in the 1900s, early 1900s. You get the picture of the firehouse. It's actual firehouse. They're coming out with a phone call. Excuse me. They come out to go answer a call. Horse-drawn buggy with steam power pumps, going to a hotel. And there's a problem there. They think it's a fire, but when they get up in there, one of the firefighters touched the doors, and his hand starts freezing to it. He said it's freezing cold.
Freezing.
Yes, he said it's freezing cold. His hand starts freezing, and they pull him off. They bust the door in, which somehow gives them access to the engine. I don't know. Anyway, we're not going to. When they get inside, everyone inside is frozen, and there is some eerie chanting going on.
Right.
So as you pan around, you see everyone frozen in various states, icicle spears all over the place, and then you see the guy who's cranking the what do they call those things?
Like a phonograph.
A phonograph, yes. But his hand is detached from his wrist because
Which
he's
was kinda
frozen. It was kind of cool, yes.
Okay, but I have questions about that. There is so kind of jumping around. There's an inconsistency with the way the ice affects people.
Mhm.
We see in this one, you're totally frozen like a popsicle, so much so that the simple weight of a phonograph will rip your arm from your body instead of just stop spinning, right?
Yeah.
But that's how it works. And then the other thing we see is the fire guy puts his hand on the door and his hand turns into ice, but then he takes his hand off and it goes back to not being ice.
But so you have to assume that those guys were in there for a longer time. So if he was in there for a longer time, he'd be frozen through and through. It's just it's thermodynamics, Jack. Come on.
Okay, so way spoiler. We get a monologue about how the mythos of this demon creature thing, the last thing you see is literally your tear ducts freezing up over your eyes.
Which is pretty cool.
Which is pretty cool, but then when we see that happen, spoiler, near the end of the movie, and like 8 of the characters are popsicles, they come back to not being popsicles.
Thermodynamics, they got to burst the flame somehow from the from the fire maker.
All right, so yeah, we got the spinning phonograph. Also, I have a question about the phonograph. Again, we get the monologue about the phonograph releases the creature, right? The demon creature is released when the phonographic chant is played.
Yeah, when the chant is played, yeah.
So when the firefighters walked in the 1900s and the phonograph was still playing, why wasn't the creature still released?
Because the lady was in the background. We see her. Remember, we see her in the background with the dangly brass armor on.
The fire maker or fire starter, whatever it is. I'm a fire starter. Anyway, but yeah, so yeah, she was. We would assume that she contained it because she was the keeper of the orb.
Yeah, because then we zoom into the orb, and then that's when we get our opening credits.
Well, then I got another question. Why did the keeper of the orb even agree to let them play this phonograph in the same room as the orb?
Jack, I'm going to tell you what Chris tells everyone else. Reasons.
Okay. All right. So moving on, let's get to current day.
So now we're at current day, and they're busting out. Oh no, I'm sorry. There was a monster, or a ghost going through the sewers.
The Dragon of Hell's Kitchen.
Right.
Yeah.
And now they're chasing the ghost, and manhole covers are popping up everywhere and busting up everything, and they're just ignoring all traffic laws like we do for the collector's corners. And they're chasing this thing down. This thing finally comes up out of the sewers, and now they have a chance to contain it, or at least try to. So now the girl, whatever her name is, fill it in, 15-year-old underage worker. She goes out into the shooter chair, and she grabs it, or at least gets part of it. But now it's phasing through buildings, is going around corners and everything like that. So she has a grip of it, but she's really not containing it. Right? Like you would think it should happen, right? But anyway,
I
we're not.
mean, it was
What?
a dragon of Hell's Kitchen. We assume it's a
That
powerful.
that's not telling me
This
anything.
ghost has a moniker.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever. So they finally now she has a grip on it. Now they have to contain it. So they put down the first of all. Let's talk about the 18-year-old son who's a man now because he kept saying it like every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Right.
He absolutely
When you
knows
were
how to
18?
diagnose anything on the fly with his car, which is wild to me. Uh, as a mechanic, he's like, oh, we have no power now. Let me just twist these wires together. There you
Just
go.
Rich, you know how
Um,
as a mechanic, you know how easy it is to track down electrical gremlins,
Yeah. It's
especially while you're driving down a crowded street.
so
It's
But
the easy-
why are there wires in the ceiling of the car anyway?
because they got
Like,
lights
what
up there.
panel was that?
I've
It
never
was
been in. I've never been in one of those cars. I wish I could, but I mean, with all those lights and all that other stuff up there, the drone, the drone bubble and everything, they got to be
Right.
wiring going up there. But
Okay.
anyway, so yes,
But that was AC wiring he fixed?
it was power and AC. I don't know, dude.
it has to be 12 volt. I mean, it's a car. It's probably 12 volt.
Well, I think the takeaway is the kid is very smart.
Yeah, and he's also an adult, so remember that.
He's an adult. I'm
He's
18 now,
He's an
guys.
adult man. He can make his own decisions. So now he puts down the drone, or not the drone, excuse me, the RC car, and now they're trying to get under it. What?
Oh God, Corey, you obviously know
Oh,
nothing about
first of all, watch your whore mouth, okay?
Hey yo.
All right.
Hey.
Uh, so, so he,
I don't know why that strictly is so funny. Oh man.
oh man, okay. So he puts he puts the RC car down with the
Yes.
trap on it,
ETC.
and he's trying to contain it, and it now goes vertical, fully up into the air, and now it's out of range of the RC.
Right.
So
So,
now,
the mom grabs the trap she probably should have just grabbed in the first place.
right, and now she puts on goggles and she has a drone. First of all, I don't believe this. No disrespect to people. I'm assuming she's like 40. To people our age, but if anyone has ever flown a drone with goggles on, it takes some practice first and foremost. Second of all, a lot of people get sick because you're doing all this, bro. You get vertigo real quick. But anyway, she flies it up. They get over it. They trap the joint, and it comes down. Well, actually, now they got to contain themselves, or they got to get control of the car because for whatever reason he can drive through the crowded streets with no issue. But coming to the end of everything, now he's hitting just about everything on the road.
Everything. Who put those bikes there?
Yeah, who puts those bikes there? The trap comes down, right? Mission done, but now it's all over the news. City at a standstill. GhostBusters, they need to be stopped. How they put the city in danger. Now we go into the mayor's office. Who was was he the mayor? Or was he the assistant?
He was the assistant in Ghostbusters. In the Ghostbusters. Can I jump ahead to when? Let me just jump to the end real quick because there's a scene in I think it's Ghostbusters 2 where Bill Murray says this man has no dick, and then in the new one, someone in the crowd yelling when the mayor comes to meet the Ghostbusters, and someone says this man has no dick. They actually yell out that the same line. It was that's awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Yeah, but you know, the mayor character is like the weakest part of the film. Not the actor. The actor's fine, but he's just a plot device for conflict for the sake of conflict.
true. Which brings us to our first conflict:
This guy's whole
child
career.
labor laws. Okay, keep that in mind. You got a 15-year-old girl manning a fusion reactor on her back and just shooting at buildings. I'm sorry, not photon. Right? Anyway,
Get it
so
straight.
Yeah, photon. So he's like, you can't have a child working because she's a child. We got child labor laws here. So now they have to kind of put her off to the side, despite the fact that she's the smartest person there. And she was the first one to get the photon packs working in the first place, right?
Right.
So anyway, so they put her off to the side. Mind you, now at this point they're kind of like in full swing. They're used to ghost
It
busting.
wasn't
They've been
the
doing it.
assistant. It was the city's EPA in the original films. Nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry to
Oh
cut
yeah,
you
that's
off,
right.
Rich.
That's right. He was. He went in there and was like, you consumed too much power and all that crap. And yeah.
Oh, right. That's right. Also, we got S in the house who's excited to see it and maybe will be or will not be after we're done.
Oh yeah. You might want to. No, you know what? Stay. Enjoy the show. But So yeah. So now they ground they ground Young Genius. Fill her name in if you remember it. They ground Young Genius because child labor laws. It's because we weren't thinking about it earlier, but now, the mayor said we can't do this, so we can't have you out here. So now she's all upset. She's
He's
in a
got a real
hizzy.
vendetta against them. I mean,
Yeah,
just from jump.
For 40 years.
yeah, a long
Yeah.
time. Like, come on. But so now she has a hizzy. She's giving everyone little attitudes and this, that, and the third. And stop, like, fill in what you guys can fill in because I'm my memory of it is all over the place. She's all upset, giving everybody a hard time. And also, there's a conflict with Paul Rudd's character because he's not sure exactly where he stands with them. Because he's like he wants to be a stepfather, but then there's really no true definition of what their relationship is. Like he's dating the mother.
Yeah, but yeah,
Right.
he's kind of jumping the gun. Like,
Yeah, it's like, what are we doing? Like, it hasn't been like how it has been like what, maybe like a few months. It hasn't been that long.
it's a little bit much to call me dad, but I don't know.
Like, what are we talking about? Like, she was literally your student like a few months ago. Like, why do you want this child? Anyway, we're not going to go down that road. But
Well, how much time do we think has passed?
wasn't it a
6
few months? Yeah,
Right.
it hasn't been a year.
Okay.
So
Because at the end of Afterlife is when we know that Winston Zedmore is paid. We see him redo the firehouse and the Afterlife. So we're assuming there's been a little bit of time, but not a ton of time.
Yeah, but
Right.
spoiler, and that should be. We're just going to spoil everything, and we're going to jump around at this point. But Winston's also been funding an underground organization for furthering the technology of the Ghostbusters hideout, and that's clearly been going on for a few years.
it's smart. It's super smart. Yes, I mean, listen,
So it's
'cause-
not like
because
it's
he
not,
bought
it's almost like
the
he never
building.
stopped.
Right. No, he didn't stop because he saw it as the entrepreneur that he is. He was looking into the future. He's like, wait a minute. First of all, this tech is very unique, and we need to have this contained and have contingencies in place if this fails. So that's what he was doing. That's what smart people do. I wouldn't know because I'm not that smart. But anyway, so they get back to the shop after being reamed out by the mayor, and they go to some dialogue with, hey, where do I stand with the kids? That was the whole thing. They go to put the dragon, the dragon of what? The Hell's Kitchen sewer systems. Anyway, put the dragon into the containment unit, and when you're green, you're clear, right?
You're green, you're clean.
Green, you're clean. But they were having an issue. It was some rumblings. The handle wasn't going down, and it wasn't going green. So
what's interesting about the containment unit, and we really get that clear in this movie, is the trap is clean, but it's just moving the monster. It's moving the spirit, the ghost, into another trap. It's not
Correct.
like it's not disposing of it by any means.
No,
Correct.
So they've been trapping ghosts for how long were they? For like a good 20 years or something. Yeah, and then it's been sitting in there.
No more than 20, man.
Yeah, well,
20 times 2 almost.
Well, they've been doing it for so long because when did they stop? When did Ghostbusters actually stop busting ghosts? Pause.
80s.
In the 80s,
Ghostbuster movies were in the 80s,
right?
So that
Ghostbusters 2 was 89. So you figure, after Ghostbusters 2, maybe they were busting for another 10, 15 years.
Okay.
So early 2000, maybe after
So they've been
And they were busting a lot because it
they
felt
were
good.
they were packing this thing to the brim.
Yeah, they were busting all over New York.
But it's been sitting in. But all those ghosts have been sitting in there for 40 years or so, right?
Yeah. So they're
So
thinking.
so you got to think about degradation or degradation of deterioration. Excuse me, of the technology and the tank and everything, whatever else may be involved in that. So all things that they more than likely wasn't thinking of because it's the 80s. No one was thinking about the future in the 80s.
That's right. They did break all the time.
Yeah.
Put a pin in that, Corey, because I want to talk about that because I thought that's the direction this was going to go. Because it was an episode where finish your thought and we'll go on it because I thought they were going to go.
It's not thought. So right, so they have an issue with it. They finally get it green, clean, and they're kind of just like, everything's good, and they go on about their business. Other things was happening. Roof was leaking. The boy was being the boy. He's like, well, you're a man now. Go fix the roof.
If Winston just put all his millions of dollars into restoring this place.
I mean, reasons. It's
right?
an old building. So come to find out, we all knew what the leak was going to be, especially after he fingered the hole. And I mean, you ain't got a pause finger in the hole, baby. All right?
Fast forward to that.
Yeah. So he fingered the hole, and he had the green ooze, and you knew what was going to happen. This Slimer, obviously, clearly. But my thing is, can we just talk about Slimer real quick?
In the trailer?
Yeah. But can we just talk about how Slimer is probably the most OP ghost there because he has yet to be caught?
Or he's been caught over and over again.
Yeah. Well, but he keeps getting out.
Slimer is a kind of ghost.
Well, he's like, poltergeist?
He's a Slimer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there are different kinds of ghosts, right? Yeah. So that's a Slimer.
Right.
Am I wrong about this, Chris?
No, you're right. In Tobin's Spirit Guide, they classify the different ghosts and the different kind of specters and stuff like that. So whatever Slimer's category is Slimer's category. And what I thought they were going to do with this, once we saw Slimer, I thought there was an episode of the cartoon where there was a problem with the containment unit, and they had to go inside the containment unit. And they actually used Slimer to go in the containment unit. But Slimer was voiced by Frank Welker. Slimer was more, I guess he talked. He was more, what's the word? Like he was more like, he wasn't just just a ravenous eating machine. Like he had personality. Slimer, when we had these movies, we had Orko, we had Snarf, and Slimer fell into the same category as those like weak Frady Cat sidekicks, and that's how Slimer was. Okay. So I thought they were going to use Slimer to go into the containment unit, and then we were going to see flashes of ghosts from the cartoon, from the first movie, from the second movie, stuff like that. But it didn't go in that direction. So
it definitely didn't go in that direction. Anyway, so Slimer's there. The man gets slimed. The grown man, he gets slimed like a little kid and whatever. Now we go and we jump to, we're going to be all over the place. Bear with us. Dan Aykroyd's Ray. We're going into his shop. He is actually doing a podcast, and podcast is actually there.
Yes.
Yeah. And he's looking at people's artifacts, or not artifacts, their little sentimental values from their loved ones, and seeing if it has readings of their spirit there. And they get this sweet old lady with her husband's Casio watch, and she was like, "Oh, it keeps beeping every time I come into a room. It's my husband." And we all know it's just the fact the watch keeps beeping because that's what it does. It's an alarm, lady. Get with the program. Anyway, he takes out the EKG reader. No, what's it called?
PKG.
Okay.
Psychokinetic energy reading.
There.
PKE meter.
He gets no readings, and then because it's part of the show, and I absolutely love it, podcast smashes it with a hammer because people has to get what they want, and they want to see some type of destruction, both with your spirit and your feelings and the physical objects. All right.
We'll show you the graphics from the two original movies. The cheesiness was made. See, except now, I thought they did. I thought they used the model of Slimer from the 80s. A lot of the ghosts that they use and stuff like that were from like the original model, and I felt like they gave it that original feeling.
Yeah, I thought the graphics, the title graphic looked pretty original,
Yeah.
vibe esque anyway. But Slimer looked updated.
But Slimer wasn't full CGI. Slimer looked like he was
There
like,
looked like there was some puppetry to that.
yeah.
So, okay. So anyway, so Phoebe, I'm sorry, now I got her name. Phoebe
Phoebe,
comes in. She has
Spangler.
a jar of the last kill from the dragon of the sewer complex, and they bring it to she brings it to Ray and to podcast. It's like, okay, put it downstairs with all the other stuff, right? Podcast is
Right.
down there. Podcast lives down there now because he's on well, he told his parents he's at an astronaut camp. And
However, that makes sense.
yeah, right. So he puts on all noises like he's about to take off, and somehow fools his parents. Anyway, the little Stay Puff guys are back. They're there for
Hundreds of
cuteness,
them.
huh?
Hundreds of
Yeah,
them. They're
just
multiplying with
just
each other
yeah.
somehow.
Like, listen, we ain't talking about that. So yes, so now she's talking, she's all upset, hissy pissy, blah 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 blah. While that happens, Nadine comes in with a whole bunch of stuff to get rid of. He wants to get rid of it for like $30. As
Right.
Ray's going through it, he was like, "Oh, this stuff looks good." Then he sees the ball, the orb, with ancient Numerian text on it. He was like, "Oh, this is interesting." And he was like, "Yeah, oh yeah, that's it. That's been in my family for so long. I'll get rid of that for like $50." So he was like, "Oh well, I might be able to do that. Let me take a reading with the PKG." He takes a reading. It goes off the charts right off the bat. Not only that, it sends a shockwave through the system. Also, a shockwave through into the containment unit, which causes a crack. Right.
Mhm.
So now he was like, "I'll take it." He gives him 100 real quick, like boom, get up out of here. You're good. And also breaks the counter that it's on. Right. So now he's like, "Okay, I have this. We got to take this to a specialist." That's where we are introduced
Isn't he
to.
the specialist?
Not well. He had. Well, a guy always has a guy. Even a specialist has a specialist. All right.
Right.
I mean,
You're
we
right.
see it. We see it on porn stars all the time.
All the time.
Porn stars all the time. I got a guy. I got a guy for that. Yeah.
Well, I have a question about that. So once the ball is stimulated, it sends these like shockwaves through the system, and what you get like these ice waves coming from nowhere into the system, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
How's that work?
Because it's the ice demon. Like that's why.
Because
Just
he has it's a god. There's so much
But
energy
he's in the ball.
in the ball.
He's in the
what
ball.
it's at, Hey. Oh, so yeah.
Okay, moving on.
So now here comes Ernie, or I'm sorry, Winston.
Yeah.
He's having a talk with them or whatever. They go and bring the ball. I'm probably recanting this too wrong. All out of order.
Keep pushing.
Yeah, we'll keep on shit. Anyway, so they bring the ball to the secret facility, which was at the Bronx Aquarium.
Right.
No,
And
it was like the Brooklyn Aquarium. Some aquarium. Yeah, I never heard of it.
So yeah, he bought the building, cleared out all the vagrants and all the dope fiends, and now this is where they come up with the new technology, which I don't know why they weren't using the new technology since they were back.
Right, and why was Winston keeping it a secret?
Yeah.
Like that made no sense. Zero sense, other than you want to reveal of the new state of the art facility with the new state of the art toys, but
unless they were just testing and he felt like it wasn't ready.
Why did you have to keep it secret, and why did you have to buy an abandoned building to keep it secret? Why didn't you just make a brand new building with all new everything? Like everything tough, everything good to go. It also didn't make sense to me when they went in there. Mr. Grown Man Trevor, he gets in there and he sees Honeypot. I'm sorry, Lucky, and she's shooting off a wrist blaster. Which first, I don't understand this shooting gallery. Like, why would you have glass at the end of the shooting gallery where you're shooting dangerous photons?
Also, why is she in the city and hiding it? Like, I didn't understand any of this element to the movie. I'm being honest. I'm like, Are y'all part of the team or not part of the team? Y'all are friends or you're not friends?
Yeah, yeah, this kid was like, oh, Lucky, like, did he have a crush on her? Was he trying to date her? And like,
Yeah.
and
But they
then
all knew each other. You don't. It's like I don't go to New York and not tell everyone who I know in New York that I'm in town.
right,
And it's 2024, so every one of them's got a phone. I don't
Yeah.
understand what they were doing. That didn't make any sense. And they're probably every single one of them's on social media. Literally, one of them, that's all he does is he's on social media. So you're telling me they're not
Exactly.
communicating? I don't buy this.
Anyway, so
Yeah.
now here we are in this facility, and they're showing different things off. They have 3 rooms specifically with contain 3 ghosts that are not being contained within the main containment unit because they want to study them. I don't know what you're going to learn from a ghost that hops between different objects and brings it to life versus the other scary one, which we don't even know what that one does, and the one that just spits up green stuff.
Right.
But
yeah,
either way, we find
Like
out
how
that they
selected these ones
yeah.
specifically.
So we find out that they take the any cursed objects with any spiritual energy in it, they put it in a machine, it extracts it, and then
Right.
puts it into the containment unit, which puts it into another tube, which then puts it into a trap, which then they have to now take out and put into the containment unit. It is just too many steps in this process. Like, what could go wrong? But so they give them the spear. They're like, it has the text on it. Like, they'll figure it out later. They literally just put it to the side, back burner, and they go off and start doing other things.
Yeah, that was also odd to me. Dan Aykroyd gives the special ball to his guy. And after the result he got from playing with the ball the first time around, you would have thought he'd realize there's something really interesting about this ball, but he just kind of doesn't. He's not like, "Yo,
He
man,
was
this ball broke my table."
he was literally like, "Well, it's your problem now," and just walks off. Like,
That was really odd. It was really odd. Like the result, like you're thinking that he normally gets pretty mundane objects that have a low level reading, and this thing broke his
it's
machine. His machine
the
started
stars.
smoking.
yeah,
Yeah.
broke his counter, sent off shockwaves, froze his hand. It froze his hand because he touched it, and
Right.
he
It
got
was
a
very
little chilled. Yeah,
yes. And the shockwave that the ball sent off also broke and you were talking about that, broke the containment thing that was in the fire station, which
yeah,
led that group of people back to Winston to go, "Hey man, do we need to worry about this?" Which is why Winston brought him to this place in the first place, right?
right, right. Thank you for tying that back up. So now we go back to the station, and we got Nadim. They put the spaghetti trap on his head. Oh, actually, no.
Well,
Sorry.
so,
They go.
so
They go to Nadim's. They go to Nadim's place.
well, the
To the
kid says, "Where did this ball even come from?
right.
Right? Where'd you get this from?" Eventually, so they do some tests on the ball, and the ball does some crazy stuff. It hurts one of the people, and then eventually they go, where did this thing even come from?" So they go back to Nadim's house, and then we get our best cameo, right? We get Bill Murray back in the content.
We get Bill. Oh, we get Bill Murray after the house because they go into the house. They find out. Oh, well, Grandma had a secret chamber, almost a soundproof room, but for spiritual energy. It's all
Right.
brass lined, and she has her armor set up there. The horns of the demon, which I don't know why you wouldn't just send each one of those horns to the farthest corners of the world, away from each other,
Or
but
burn them.
or
Yeah,
destroy them.
sure.
Yes. So we see that, and we're like, oh well. Now they're testing everything, and they test Nadim, and they're like, oh, you got some energy on you. You got to come with us. So they come back. We get the cameo of Bill Murray, being as charming as ever.
Yep.
Yep.
They're testing him, and they're asking a series of questions. Oh, also we get a cameo of the spaghetti hat.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's true. It comes back.
So they're testing his readings, asking him various questions. If you were to eat a kid, like how would you do it? Some weird stuff like that.
Bill Murray. It's like,
Yeah.
was the kid related to me? He was like, does that matter to you?
Yeah.
And knowing these two actors, I'm sure very little of this scene was actually scripted. There's
Oh,
no telling.
Probably all improv. But while he's doing that, he's throwing pens at him. I'm just like, first of all, where's he getting all these damn pens? But every time he answers like certain questions, he just throws a pen at him. And as he's throwing the pen at him and it hits him, a Bunsen burner flares up and it kind of travels towards in the direction of the Deem. So they're noticing that. Bill Murray is noticing this. I'm sorry, not Bill Murray. Let me call him by his correct name, Dr. Peter Venkman. He's noticing it, so he's now intensifying the throwing of the pens and looking over, and they kind of find out that he's the flame master, flame keeper, flame master.
Well, they don't know what this is yet. So before we find out that there's flame keepers at all, we get another cameo by Patton Oswalt in the library, who's got a library in the bottom of the library that he takes him to. And he fills them in with all the mythos and gossip of what was going on in the 1900s with the society of rich schmucks playing ghost things and the keepers of the flame and all that stuff.
Right, and then he has a wax cylinder that actually has a recording. Do you guys remember that meme that was floating around? The old guy, like, I have this priceless wax cylinder, and he holds it and he breaks it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so what happens at the library is, the spirit that's able to inhabit different things escaped when the ball burst a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And so it got out and it was floating around. And so it turned into a trash bag and then took the wax cylinder and was escaping the library while people were chasing after it. Phoebe at the top of the list.
Yeah.
And Dan Aykroyd just happened to have a photon pack in his side kit of the bicycle that opened up like a transformer.
I think that came from the cartoon. Because it was
whatever.
That was Ecto-C.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw that. We saw it on the plate.
Exactly. So a lot of engineering into that thing. And then the little the zipper, the ghost that takes over things, the inhabitor ghost jumps into the lion of the public library and starts trying to eat people, and Phoebe blows it up. At which point that gives the mayor a lot of fuel to shut them down, which is odd because, again, this is where the plot device just felt obnoxious in the script because they're actually helping the city and they're taking out things that want to kill people.
Mm-hmm.
And so you think that the mayor or any kind of public authority kind of be endorsing them or on their side or empathetic of the situation, but it's real weird. This is the part of the movie that feels like the script was maybe written in the 80s and needed an update because you have mustache twirling behavior from the characters.
So there was a third Ghostbusters movie that was a draft was written, and I'm curious to see how much of it took them, how much of that they took out of it. Corey, the mayor always shuts them down. That's true, Corey.
But that's why I'm feeling like yes, but that's why I feel like this just didn't update itself right. It wasn't human. Like the mayor had no human behavioral qualities. He was a plot device for the sake of conflict.
Well, I mean, he was a plot device in what was it, part 2? Part 1?
That's literally my point. Those movies were written in the 80s.
Yeah.
We've had 40 years of let's learn how to tell better stories.
Do you remember 2023? Anyway.
That statement's as true today as it was yesterday.
So now we find out that we need people, the flame makers, which now we know that Nadeem is a flame maker, but apparently he was the knowledge of that was not passed down along the generations for whatever reason. We do know that his brother is a doctor.
Yeah, he's the black sheep of the family.
Yeah, and he's kind of just like getting by selling things. It looked like he was living off his grandmother, and now she's gone. He's like selling all the stuff,
like sneakers, and just selling whatever he gets his hands on. And he's like, I'm going to sell my family's priceless heirlooms.
Yeah. So now,
how the
the
final thing the phonograph.
Uh-huh.
The phonograph actually served no purpose in this
It
film
served
whatsoever.
no purpose. First of all, I don't understand why he needed to boost up to get the bag, because he had more than enough time to get it in space
Oh,
and
yeah,
everything.
please,
But
come
then,
on.
yeah, after the whole line thing, we did not need the phonograph at
You
all.
didn't, because spoiler alert, jumping ahead, so Phoebe kind of has a crush on a lady ghost, and a lady ghost they play chess in the park.
Is that how you read it, or is she just so desperate for friends? Because I wasn't sure until she came out as a ghost, and she's like, "I'll be a ghost," and she just looked at her looked at loving in her eyes. I'm like, where is this going?
Oh, well, wherever it's going,
Yeah, you
listen,
know where it's going. Anyway,
no
first of all,
judgment. There was
either
definitely
way,
a connection between them. Let's say that.
there was
Right?
something going on there.
I read it first. It's like she's lonely. She finally has a friend, and then this girl is coming in and out. She tells the story. She's on fire because she died in a tenement fire, which
Right.
is a really really old fashioned word if you live in an apartment in the city. So she was dressed in modern clothes, but that tenement thing was like kind of like she was from like turn of the century, because I
Oh,
had been to
man.
the tenement museum on
Wait, what?
Orchard Street, and it's like they call it tenements back in like the 20s, or like the early 1900s to the 20s, and she's dressed like she's out of like 1995.
I was gonna say she looked like she's dressed out of like 1995, early 2000s.
Right.
Well,
Yeah,
So
the matchbook alone,
someone in wardrobe was like, "No, this looks ancient." 1995. Yeah, no, that was a long time ago.
we're getting old.
So she makes friends with a ghost, and the ghost, who's being controlled by Ice Ghost, who's got a name,
What was his name?
Horny Ice Ghost.
Horny Ice Ghost. Okay.
Horny Ice Ghost has the ability to manipulate and control the other ghosts. So he's
But
kind of.
but he's not manipulating her. He made her a promise.
You're
And
right. You're right.
It seems like she's doing. He does say yes that he can manipulate ghosts, and we see that when Phoebe separates her and she ghost walks and she controls Phoebe. But Flame Ghost, the girl, is not under his control. She's not under a trance. She's just doing it because she's a jerk, and she's like, I need to stop being a ghost and
Right.
cross
So
over.
Flame Ghost, the girl, the love interest girl, is she misses her parents, so she wants to transcend this plane of basically purgatory and transcend into whatever the afterlife really is. Whatever happens to you after you go from being a ghost, she wants to go do that so she can get to her parents.
Right.
So she's manipulating Phoebe by playing chess and having conversations with her to convince Phoebe. And Flame Ghost doesn't even know that this is an option. But Phoebe didn't even know this was an option until Winston showed them the secret thing 3 days earlier. What lets them take the spiritual energy out of a device, right? I'll take the spiritual energy out of my phone and have the spirit there. So Phoebe, within less than a week's time, comes to the conclusion that she can put herself in this rather large thing to extract her own
Wild.
ghost from her body, which is
For
just a vessel
someone
to contain it.
who was so smart, why would you do something so stupid? Like, first of all, it was inanimate objects that was going in there.
Right.
And you're
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
throw your whole live body in there, like, oh, this will
It's
work.
basically a microwave.
Like,
So she
give
jumps
it 2
into
minutes
the
and I'll be back. Like, what
right. Well, that's the other thing that was interesting is she was able to set an egg timer on this one, but it wasn't like there was an egg timer for the inanimate objects. You just remove a thing. You didn't put
Yeah.
it back in. You just took it out.
So really, the whole story arc is Phoebe's fault. All the damage, all the stuff that happened is 100% Phoebe's fault.
Right, because you didn't need the phonograph.
No.
Right.
The
So what
child
happens is Phoebe goes into the large microwave, has her essence taken out of her body for 2 minutes because she sets an egg timer. In the 2-minute time span, horny ice ghost takes over her spirit form to control her body vicariously, to have her body chant from the large microwave. Meanwhile, Flame Girl's going, I don't know if this was a good choice. Like, yeah, whatever. And then horny ice ghost is on the loose, and he wants to,
he wants
to
to
get it on with
he
the
wants
dead.
to freeze the world. Wait, he wants to do what? What'd you say? He wants to get it on with who? Anyway. So So now the ghost is loose. He's freezing things. Uh, he goes
Wait,
back to
wait, wait,
grandma's.
wait, 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 wait. But I'm confused. So the first thing that happens when Horny Ice Ghost gets free is somehow he manifests in the middle of the ocean and sends an ice ball through a beach just so we can see people in their bikinis.
No. So they were in Coney Island. That's Coney
Yeah.
Island,
Okay.
and so I think that's where if they're in Brooklyn. They're not that far from Coney. They could be right by Coney Island. So he's making his
All
way
right.
back to
To Brooklyn.
his way back to Manhattan to get his horns, so he can be Horny Ice Ghost.
I see. Okay, that
Okay.
makes
All right.
sense.
All right. All right.
Right, you got it.
Yeah, that makes all right. So he gets his horns, plugs them back into his head. Now he's full horned up,
Which
and
is
he
pretty
was.
cool.
But yeah, it was pretty cool. It unwinded and everything, and straightened out and curled a little bit. So now he's going. We all know where he's going. He's going to the containment unit because that's where he's going to get his army to take over and freeze the world. Which why he
Right.
needs the ghost to freeze the world when he's already doing it? Don't know.
Rich. Don't you know if you're taking over the world, you need minions. You need to have a faceless army to be able to control.
Right. And so two other things are happening at the same time. They've decided to get the Fire Master guy to start learning how to firebend,
Right, fire bending.
which
Yeah,
is hysterical. And Phoebe gets this brilliant idea that a better way to fight this guy, because her friend had a bout with the guy and the photon blaster did nothing. She
Mhm.
gets the idea that melting some copper and dipping her
Bronze.
yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, the bronze. It was
Bronze.
bronze.
Dipping it in bronze is going to help give it a better shot. Now, one, she does that so fast.
Bro.
I mean, I was like, what did 20 minutes pass and she managed to take the thing apart, melt the bronze down, dip it in the bronze, and put it back together?
Didn't Bill Murray say something about it? Did his character say something like like we got ready so fast, something like that?
Okay, and the other thing was, if she did that with hers, why did she only do it with hers?
She had to be the hero.
It made no sense because she could have essentially, you didn't need the fire blast, you didn't need a firebender at all. You just needed a few more photon packs charged properly.
Right. And it was cool though. It was cool, like when it was spitting sparks out of the back and like shooting green photon. It was kind of cool. But you're right. Like if you have time to smelt that much bronze, and wait, let me ask you one more question. She cut from the pole, but then people the pole. Where did he eat the section out from?
Come on,
there were two poles. There was one on the main floor, and there was one on the upper level. If you look on one of the scenes, so maybe she cut it from that one. I don't know, but the fact that she was doing it with a hacksaw just had me down. I was like, wait a minute.
Did it with a hacksaw. One, she did it with a hacksaw. Two, she melted that thing to a liquid form so quick.
With the regular torch, bro. A torch you can get from freaking.
She had like propane gas.
From Home Depot, bro. I was
That's
like,
what I'm saying. It wasn't even matte gas. How she managed to like
you can't
literally?
Get you know it's illegal. You can't get map gas anymore.
Oh, there goes my smelting career.
Yeah. Right? There goes my bronze melting career.
No, I'm stuck with propane like a peasant.
It made very little sense.
I mean, yeah, and she just dipping it, and then it worked. Anyway,
yeah,
so,
she literally just dipped the coils in it.
Yeah, and then reassembled it, and I guess she just knew it worked because there was no testing. So we're just gonna wing it. So, and also after she does this, she goes downstairs, which the problem is upstairs.
She goes into the basement where the containment center is, where her flame girl flame is.
Yeah, her flame girl flame. So now the world is freezing over, or at least Manhattan is freezing over. Everyone's getting ready. They're all at the fire station. Everyone's getting ready. You got Honey, right? No, not Honey. Lucky. I don't know why I keep calling her Honey. You got Lucky and the grown man. They go up to the roof and they're looking out, and they're like, "Oh, first of all, Winston just had perfect timing. What do you guys see out there? We see a tricycle." And then they put Nate. Radio was like, "Oh, it's the Hopper." Get rid of it, take it down. Oh no! And he also tells them, come down here. So instead of trying to blast it from the roof and avoid it from getting to the door, they all come downstairs. It gets to the door. It blows the door off its hinges, and
Jumps
that
into the
jumps into the car,
Yeah.
and it just creates havoc.
So,
And
but
now,
let's talk about the lineup. We have Winston, Peter Venkman, Ray Stantz, original Ghostbuster, Lucky, Phoebe, the man, I forgot his name, freaking Stranger Things kid, right?
right.
the
Paul
man,
Rudd.
Trevor,
Trevor, and we have Janine, who,
That's right. Janine comes back.
I say, she looks fantastic for her age.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
look good.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
I mean, she's no Angela Bassett good, but she looked
I
fantastic.
mean, she's no Angela Bassett good. All right, but
Well,
she
she's
is.
right.
Yeah. Wow.
You said it, Jack. That's true.
Something different happens to the face.
That's true. Black don't crack.
Okay. All right. So now the team is together. I love how he went to that little panel and pulled out his old whiskey bottle, which was great. Or whatever.
Yeah, he just
whatever
hits
that
the
was.
thing. He's got his drink.
Little
Sage
whiskey
in the
bottle.
house, laugh out loud. We got another one coming. Black don't crack.
Look, Jack, there you go, Sage. Sage knows.
So now it's wreaking havoc. The doors are busted open. Here comes the Ice King, the Horn Dog King himself, and they start blasting him. Pause. They start blasting him. It does nothing. He's laughing it off, and then
Because we knew it would do nothing.
right. We knew it would do nothing. So he now freezes the whole room. Icicles are like choking into their necks and bodies, but they're also freezing. What?
We skipped one part. So let me jump back. When the little ghost that inhabits things jumped into one of the photon blasters and was about to kill the kid, and this is when the firebender came into true form, and he controlled the photon blast and managed to bend it out.
Is fire and photon are they in the same family of elements?
Well, they clearly they must be. So this was a big a boost to the guy's confidence, and then he put on his knight's armor from the 1500s, and he's ready to fight battle too,
which fit him perfectly. Also, we got another glimpse of Slimer because the thing gets into a pizza pie, tries to crawl away, and Slimer eats it. And
that's right, Slimer eats the ghost.
Yeah, and so now we're downstairs again.
Also, what was that pizza just sitting on the counter like that?
Yeah, why wasn't it open? Why was Slice?
If you're gonna be a champion, you have to fuel like a champion.
But it was a whole pie.
No,
the whole pie was sitting there.
Yeah,
the whole CGI pie was just sitting on the counter, Chris.
I don't know.
Anyway,
I don't know.
So now everyone's getting frozen.
That's right.
Everyone's getting frozen. Phoebe comes down. Oh no! Everyone's getting frozen. Phoebe comes down, tries to bust him up. It was working for a quick second, but then he got loose of it.
Right.
Started hitting. Oh, actually, froze Phoebe. Excuse me. He froze the beam. He froze everybody's beam. I didn't know ice can actually freeze physical protons or fire, but that's what happened. Everyone got frozen. Phoebe ended up getting frozen herself. He ended up breaking the containment unit, opening up the portal, light in the sky, just like in what was it, 2?
2.
Yeah. So you got your little nostalgia from that. And first we thought, okay, well everyone's done, right? It's over, game over, man. He got his ghost. Except here comes the firebender, but not like in a real heroic way of coming down. My man comes down and slides and scrapes down the brass pole.
That happened actually before everyone was frozen.
Oh, that's right. He comes down.
Right.
He tries to hit the lighter. He uses up all his fuel. He has nothing.
Right. He's got nothing. But what does happen in this moment is everyone's frozen except for the firebender, and the flame girl shows back up with her solo match.
My purpose, my one match I've been saving. The match.
Actually, that match keeps coming back because she already struck it.
Coming back. Yeah,
and
she struck it like 3 times.
Right. So she comes down, strikes a match. The flame bender now can bend flames. He hits him.
He's a
Phoebe
pro.
thaws out. Well, yeah, he's a pro now. He's bending flames. A shockwave goes out. Phoebe now thaws out. She starts hitting him with the blast. Pause. Well, is that a pause? Anyway, it's a child. It's a child. No,
Pause.
it's a pause. It's a pause.
She blasts him hard.
She's blasting. First, she's 15. Calm down, Jack. She's blasting him. He's flaming him.
She's Hollywood 15, which means she's probably 45.
Yeah, sure.
Can I say that she actually looked like she was 45 in that jumpsuit? Like it looked weird. Like she had like the weird body of a 45-year-old in a jumpsuit, but in like a child's head. I'm like, what is happening? Anyway,
Jumpsuits don't play good on
it
everyone.
don't play good on no one. Anyway, so she's blasting. He's flaming. He's he's still fighting though. The flamey horn. The I'm sorry. The ice horn monster is or spirit. He's still fighting. And how did they get him? Oh, they got him in they used the containment unit to contain him.
Right. They turn on the containment unit and use that as a giant trap.
So
Phoebe's
everyone thaws out. Right.
Yeah.
Everyone thaws out. They go downstairs. They're like, Ray was thinking about theoretical things that he was talking about with some. And he was like, "Oh, we can do this, blah 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 blah." And they were like, "Oh, we can believe in you." There's a very strong, or maybe subtle or strong, whatever, of teamwork in this because it seemed like everyone had to put their hand on this handle.
That handle was a lot bigger than I thought it was originally.
Like everybody, just like
But that's how you know you need the entire team to close it or open it, whatever they did.
That happened, and when I saw that, and I was like, "There's absolutely no way that like this whole thing is busted open. How are they going to trap him?" And you know what? Magic. Why am I even questioning things? Rich, you're stupid. You're an idiot. So
it sealed itself.
It sealed itself, and he's now contained. That's not how containers break and then
also it turned green, which didn't make sense because there was no trap in the thing to turn clean.
Green is clean.
Green is clean. That's it. That's all that means. That guy is successfully contained within the container.
So then what we have is the entire population of New York City is outside the Ghostbusters headquarters screaming Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters as the mayor rolls up to shut them down, but can't do that because national TV's there. And they get an endorsement.
It's the best line of the show. Man has no dick.
Mayor has no dick.
So you get that line.
So everyone's getting, their kudos. The grown man is being grown manning, and he's taking pictures of everyone, and everyone's getting all their praises. And then the alarm goes off. They got to go bust a ghost. And you know what I love about New York City? It never stops because literally a apocalypse event was happening, but people are still. Oh, Connie, Alaska, how you doing? Green is the color of harmony.
That it is, Connie. That it is.
Okay, it's also the color of money, which hopefully this movie makes. But what I like about New York is that the city don't stop because as soon as they pull out, there are people just still going about their day on the streets. Not like the apocalypse just happened.
That's the most realistic that I've seen.
That probably is the most realistic thing that we've seen on this. Yes.
Well, it's also the city's had at least 3 major spiritual apocalypse upon them.
But we have cars in the street up on like icicle spikes. Yeah. So it's like, where do all those cars go?
There's got to be, not to be morbid, they don't show it, but there's some dead people.
Oh, there's definitely. But you know what? We're not worried about that. It's a great time. They save the city. They go off to another call, and young Phoebe is allowed to join them because screw child labor laws. Am I right? We're fighting ghosts here. And that's the end. But there is more, and I was not there for that because I walked out because I was trying to see if there was an end credit scene. But the movie theater I was in is like a tomb, and I got no signal. If y'all stayed for that, please.
So I stayed for it. So what it was is it flash forwards to a truck stop. A guy gets out to use the phone, and all of a sudden the truck starts moving. You think it's that that possessor spirit, but no, it's a bunch of little tiny Stay Puft Marshmallow Men. And as he's pulling away, you see the truck. It says Stay Puft Marshmallows. So where that's gonna go, I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. It's just
that's not.
What was the point of them anyway in this content, other than they're cute?
There was a moment because when podcast when podcast was pulling out the drone trap, they were kind of like stopping him real quick as much as they could. Like they were more like antagonizing, like on him and like pulling on him and stuff. But they serve no purpose.
They serve no purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, other than nostalgia for the sake of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
just
cuteness.
Just
Yeah.
just cute. They were, I guess they were kind of cute. And to sell toys. Who's that?
Who is this? Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
TM
Yeah.
Oh, you
Come
said
on.
Twitch. Thank you.
Twitch.
And to sell toys. That's
And to
exactly
sell-
right.
yeah,
No,
to sell
you
toys,
hit that
exactly.
one. Because if you don't have good merch, what do you got these days? Not a whole lot of.
Exactly.
Nothing.
But that is Ghostbuster Frozen Empire. Yeah. And we might be getting a sequel to this, so we might be getting a part 3.
I hope so. So Lady Ghostbusters is better, stronger franchise with dancing. This cameo's fan service, okay, that's surprising. I mean,
I think they took that out of the canon, Corey.
Yeah, we don't talk about
Maybe
We don't
Ghostbusters
talk about
was
we don't talk about the power of fallopian tubes. Okay.
no, we don't talk about the Ghostbusters.
I mean, it's a shame. They were good busters.
Hey,
We
there we
these.
go. Come on.
I never watched it. I don't know.
I never finished it. I couldn't.
Oh, you couldn't finish it? Man, that says a lot. You couldn't finish it. That says a lot. You watch everything. You love everything. So it's like,
Well,
wow.
what was weird about that was it was kind of a reboot and kind of a sequel, but kind of neither. It was odd.
No, it wasn't. I don't think it was. What? Oh, that Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
So I don't even want to talk about that.
Yeah. Okay. Let's stop then.
Yeah, we're like 7 months.
Okay, so
And kind of perfect. What, Corey? I'm not putting you in yourself anymore.
and kind of,
You're bad for the rest of the show, Corey.
Banned from the show.
What
Thanks
the-
for watching.
gentlemen,
Yeah, go watch X-Men with your family.
Speaking of X-Men. All right, let's wrap this up.
all right, let's wrap
Yeah.
it up. That was Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Gentlemen, what do you rate it?
Oh.
Yeah.
7.
7.
What?
Wow.
I
I love it.
love Chris. I love Chris.
Oh, man.
He loves everything.
He does. Holy. I'm gonna give it a 5. Like it's mid. It was entertaining to a degree, but it was mid. It was like I had questions throughout it. Like how? Why are we doing
No, but
this?
honestly, it's kind of as good as any of the Ghostbuster films. It's a solid entry to what that content is, you know. But that being said, it's a 5 or 6. It's not a 7. I give it a 6. So you gave it a 5. You gave it a 7. I give it a 6. So collectively, we gave it a 6.
It's a 6. All right, fair enough.
And that's fair, man. This is a good film. It's fun for the family. It's enjoyable. I think a 6 is a respectable number. Like that's not throwing shade or hate on the film. This was definitely a fun watch. And if you like Ghostbusters, then you'll like this.
Yeah. Yeah, if you like Ghostbusters, you should like this as well.
5.3, 5.4.
Yeah, that's a 6.
I mean, yeah. we got to do the collective and hit the middle somewhere. All right. Well, we got a 6. Chris, you know what time it is? You got some of those spicy recommendations?
Christian.
So we talked about X-Men, kind of not a reboot, but a continuation. We talked about Ghostbusters, not really a reboot, but a continuation. There's a lot of times where franchises will get picked up and get retooled and be amazing and be fantastic. There are times when that doesn't happen. So I'm going to tell you about some examples. This is recommendations of stuff that you should not watch, of reboots of loved, beloved lines. I mean, we'll start with the first one: The New Adventures of He-Man, or as I like to refer to it, Space He-Man.
Okay.
Hot garbage. Hot.
At least
garbage.
he's in it, though.
Oh.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Touche. Next, I got Rugrats preschool days. I mean,
Oh.
I grew up on Rugrats. I love Rugrats. Did you know that they had a Rugrats where they were grown up bigger, and then they had preschool days and they had all grown up. And
Okay.
preschool days was a Angelica spinoff, and it was just terrible. And then I would lump that in with All Grown Up, which was also equally as terrible. Next, I got Ren and Stimpy, adult party cartoon. So the thing about Ren and Stimpy, so this was a Ren and Stimpy that was on Spike TV.
Okay.
So the thing about Ren and Stimpy was it was so controversial and so interesting because it was never supposed to be what it was, right?
Right.
But then when you take that away and you just make it just super raunchy for being raunchy, it's just terrible.
Right.
Okay.
It loses the mischievous nature of what it is.
Exactly. So, and then my last one is a 3BSM favorite, Velma. That one.
Okay.
Trash.
All right. Well,
So,
those are the recommendations. Go see them or don't see them. Yeah, they're recommendations.
I'll see them. They're whack. I mean, some of them, there are things that are so bad that you may want to watch, but yeah.
No.
But that wouldn't. But now we got Sebastian. We'll show you some of his dope Ghostbusters gear.
Let's see what he got.
Guns.
And guns. Okay.
And I got a special one.
All right. Show them the Ghostbusters stuff.
So
Do you guys still have your Ghostbusters toys when you were kids?
I never had Ghostbusters toys.
I don't.
PK.
Nice.
Okay. PK. Oh, here it is.
So you can put it anywhere and it will make a noise. And you can go like this too.
Check your dad. See if he's infected by a spirit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, you want to know how you find out? Throw pens at his face, then you'll find out.
He saw the movie too. Show what else you got. Come on.
Right.
These people gotta go to bed.
Wait, blow up his screen, Rich.
Oh, yes.
Ooh, is that the popcorn thing?
No, this is an actual like.
Did you see the popcorn? They're selling popcorn.
I
Look
did,
like
yeah.
that.
So this is actually a cosplay trap that we got. It's not really play grade. It's made for.
Does it open and close?
Yeah, it opens and closes. It locks open, and I forgot how to get it to activate, but you can do stuff to it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, you could do stuff to it.
So,
Let me get some.
what else you got?
What else? What you got there?
This is the biggest disappointment. No, this is all the Afterlife toys.
Okay.
So,
Oh, that is loud.
it's a ghost whistle, so it's never was actually shown in the.
The last one.
Yeah.
I'll tell you when I watched it.
So you blow into it and it makes ghost noises.
Okay.
It's horrific.
It is.
So here's the biggest disappointment. So you get the blaster, but the backpack was sold separately.
What?
Oh, wow. Got him. We got him.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Backpack sold separately, though.
Yeah.
That's wild. How much is the
Okay.
backpack?
So, yeah, I couldn't find it. It was sold out.
So I heard you guys were talking about X-Men. So
Nice.
That's the Toy Biz one from the 90s.
Oh, that looks like Chris grade.
That is. This is
I
this was in rotation from when I was a kid.
have something for you.
Okay, here's the last thing, and then we'll let you guys go.
This one.
Don't show that one. Just show the big one. Let's go.
Did you shoot me?
Okay, go.
So you have to subscribe if you want to see this.
Okay, that's right. If you want to see the next thing, make sure the tens of people subscribe. Okay, they're all.
Probably already subscribed. Let's see this thing.
Let's see what it is. Oh wow!
Nice.
Look at that thing.
Here, I'll take this off and you can shoot it. Don't shoot me. Just shoot the gun over there so they can see how the gun looks.
You ready? In 3, 2, 1.
Wait. Okay, go ahead.
What is that model after? That looks like it's a. Was that an MG?
Yeah.
So look, it has full auto and no full auto.
Go ahead. Shoot up full auto. Go ahead.
I'm shooting at full auto.
Go ahead. Do it. Hurry up.
And it has shells. Wow. Okay. What Chinese site are you getting these from?
I'll tell you where they're not selling that. They're not selling that here.
That is definitely some Chinese Temu site that you got it from.
Yeah.
Illegal.
So it ejects shells, and you see the shells all over the floor.
Yeah.
And I have empty mag. This was full ammo, and I have empty.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All
I
right.
have empty. You know why the bullets didn't work? I actually pranked you.
Okay.
Oh,
Look,
okay.
this is why the bullet didn't.
He pranked me with a bullet from the other.
Uh-huh.
You know, Chris, Paul Rudd probably gave you your favorite line in the movie.
What happened?
Hey, Paul Rudd probably gave you your favorite line in the Ghostbusters
Oh, he
movie.
did. So we didn't talk about that. He says, "Busting makes me feel good."
Yeah.
All right, let's say goodbye.
Fire hazard? No, Connie, you remember the old like gray guns that used to shoot sparks?
Say
Yeah.
I
that
remember some
time.
of those guns. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Before we do that, like, comment, subscribe. Huge favor. It means a great deal to us. I don't know what it is on Twitch, but do whatever it is to follow us there, and I'll pay more attention to Twitch. All right. Thanks for watching.
Like and subscribe.
Like said it. It's your turn. We'll be back.
Let's go.
Back time. Same back channel.
There it is.